finally, new rule liberal.
Fucking wrong clip, people. That was a real fuck up for the beginning of the stream. My apologies.
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend, you're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Car. Bad deal. Cars that break down. Thieves. If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill, you can kiss my ass. It's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker. You'll fall for this bullshit. Guaranteed. If you find a better deal, shove it up your ugly ass. You heard us right. Shove it up your ugly ass. Bring your tray. Bring your title. Bring your wife. We'll fuck her. That's right. We'll fuck your wife. Because at Big Bill Hell, you're but 6 ways from Sunday. Take a hike to Big Bill Hell, home of challenge pissing. That's right, challenge pissing. How does it work? If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet, you get no down payment. Don't wait, don't delay, don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off. Only at Big Bill Hell, the only dealer that tells you to fuck off. Hurry up, asshole. This event ends the minute after you write us a check. And it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker. Go to hell. Big Bill Hell's Cars. All the more filthiest and exclusive home of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland. Guaranteed.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casual Rage. It was a rough start there at the beginning. My apologies for that. I had the wrong tab open. How are we all? I hope we're all doing well. I'm sorry I wasn't available to do any of my streams this weekend. I had a wedding to go to, my cousin's wedding, which was pretty cool, and we had a good time, got pretty drunk, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm here now, and I also ended up getting a new job. So that's why Casual Rage is changing its day. Hopefully not its time. We'll try and keep this time slot and move forward with that. But yes, the day is definitely going to be changing. At this stage, it is Tuesday night or Tuesday morning. There is a possibility, though, that it could change again. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I got my job back at the car dealership. And that's why I played that clip at the beginning. I thought it was a good parody sort of commercial. I thought it was quite funny. How are we doing, Stig?
Quite well. Quite well.
That's good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank
Suffering
you for being
from insomnia.
Why? Too much streaming.
No, too much awake.
And Greg, how you doing? Tuscan Bob, Lost Jedi 22. Gee, you got so many names now. Executive producer.
Good morning. I can't wait to shop at Raging Rhino Autos there.
Yeah. Come in and get your deal today. We will fuck your wife.
I love that line. I want to take that challenge, piss 6 feet straight up in the air and not get wet.
Yeah. Man,
if it's a windy enough day, like it could be possible.
There's so many good lines in there. But they go by so quickly. I thought it was quite funny. We got a few commercials.
Don't play that once you're monetized, because that's like your stream will get instantly demonetized
straight away.
The amount of F-bombs within the first 2 minutes.
Got to be at least that 15 minutes in, right?
Yeah. So abuse it while you fucking can.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got some of the usual suspects. Christian's here. Hi. We've got Michael. Now, I was debating whether or not this was Michelle, Michael, because it's not spelt the traditional way that it's spelt. But I'm going to say Michael. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the chat. But yes, and I don't know about looking over my shoulder and all of that. But good morning. Who else have we got? We got Corey. Hi all. Hello. Daniel, of course. The asshole, Rhino's Bane. The asshole himself. How you doing, Daniel? We got Will72. We've got Gordon. We've got Blake. We've got Blue Eyed Scorpio. Again, all the usual suspects. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you all for being here. And sell me a Lambo. I told you they're all shit cars. They're all shit cars. No, not the cars I sell. I'm selling Kia, Peugeot, and Suzuki. So 3 brands. Not a lot of opportunity, which is pretty cool. Now we do have a couple of things that we're going to go through. It's so hard because I'm so used to saying we're going to rage out about the topics of the week and I feel like we're right in the middle of the week, so it's kind of like, which week are we talking about? But we're going to be sort of talking about some of the things that most of you have probably already spoken about. There's might be a couple of new things that have come out, but I changed the thumbnail too. What do you think of that?
Excellent. What does it look like?
All right, I'll bring it up. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys.
I just clicked the link when you sent me the,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's in here. That's right. I thought it was good. Because I clipped out the bit from.
Oh, I see it.
I clipped out the bit from last week's Casual Rage, and I put this up, and I was sort of like thinking, not EU Knights of the Round Table, and then we got the topics of the week that get put on the table, and this is what we're going to discuss. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it.
You know what, though?
Jack? What?
You know, behind that share on the left,
This one?
you should put my head sticking up just in case I'm on.
Well, this is the thing, like, because it's I don't know who's usually coming on. There's so many different people that sometimes come on. I have to get like headshots of every single person and then just change them out when they come by.
You just need me. No,
just you?
Yeah, they don't care about the others.
You're the biggest EU knight, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you're the one out there slashing throats. Fucking.
Well, yeah, but that's just fun, though.
Yeah, that's just hobby. That's not.
Yeah, they lose it.
Oh, it's a hobby.
Over nothing.
All right. What do we want to talk about first? We've got there was cancel culture there on the table. There's the is this still going with the Kathleen Kennedy, the Civil War, and there was Wandavision. Greg, have you seen Wandavision?
No, and I never will.
Okay, that's fair enough. Stig, you've watched Wandavision, haven't you?
Well, I watched it with you.
Oh, of course. Man, this is what my week's been like, honestly. Since
you
Friday.
and I watched it on Friday.
We did. We
Yeah.
did.
It was fun. Fun watching the episode with an Aussie.
Yeah.
Never done that before.
No. Oh, well, I've never watched it with a Norwegian. No. How do I?
You got it right. Norway.
Norwegian.
Call him Swede.
I wasn't going to say Swede, but I wasn't sure.
Don't say that.
You know, there was a car here called the Jackaroo. True story.
Oh, jeez.
Well, let's quickly talk a little bit about Wandavision, seeing as Greg hasn't seen it. So we'll start off with that, and we'll just get that out of the way.
Start off with the thing I don't know anything about. All right.
Oh, I just want to get it out of the way then, so that we can talk about the things that we really want to get into.
Does she wave her hands around in a stupid way?
Yeah, there's the...
A little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite superhero move of all time is just the retarded hand waving.
Yes. It's
Well,
like she's splitting eggs. You know,
There's
when you
two...
get the plum out of the egg.
There's actually two of them now that are doing the hand gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. The thing that I just wanted to say about WandaVision is, yes, it was interesting and it is a decent show, but my interest definitely fell off a lot after the Gina Carano thing. Like, it really... I think I mentioned this before in regards to the cancel culture, and we'll get into that. But in regards to the cancel culture stuff, I'd never seen it firsthand and actually play through from sort of beginning to end. This is, again, call me boomer, whatever. But it's the first time I've actually ever sort of tracked it. And seeing it really come out, the hypocrisy of Disney is really showing through this. And it really turned me off WandaVision. Again, me and Stig, we sat there and we watched it, and it was a decent episode. I don't think it really told us anything that we didn't already know. Just quickly, what do you think, Stig? What do you think of the series all up to?
It went kind of like I expected, an exposition flashback episode. I think it was a little bit contrived, but I'm still going to watch the final episode. But there's a hell of a lot of stuff to wrap up in one episode now, though. They set up a mystery, and then there's like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's mystery box TV for you.
Yeah.
Though that's one of these shows
on
now.
These days, definitely. But we were talking about that.
I think as a whole, I'd give the show a 7 so far, 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with it, The acting's good.
No, the only thing that I'm sort of really now interested in, I'm just going to bring this up just while we're, oh no, not like that, while we're talking about it. The thing that really sort of gets me is now they're trying to, it's almost like retcon what they set up in regards to how Wanda got her powers, because they now own the mutants. They obviously now want to play on that, I think. And so basically the way that they've told the story now with her is that she was already a witch, even in the bomb that dropped where it's, her and her brother survived. She essentially protected them both, apparently, or something like this. But then through the Mind Stone, her abilities have been enhanced, amplified in some way. And I think they're still trying to stick to that mutant gene thing now. I don't know. And again, I don't know how they're going to close this out in one more episode. No more. There's one season. That's it.
Yeah, and the weird thing, though, is wasn't it evening when the episode ended, kind of? Or
I'm trying to think.
Or rather, no, sorry, I think it was daytime. But still, a lot of time has passed since the last episode, right? A few hours at least.
Yeah.
So what the hell's going on with Monica Rambeau? She got busted by Quicksilver, and
well, hang on. She went through the portal in this.
Yeah, she was about to go into the basement, and Quicksilver caught her, and then nothing in the following episode. So if she shows up in the next one, what the hell has she been doing for those hours?
It'll be in the comic book, don't worry.
Obviously, what's her name? Agatha Harkness. She was stopping Vision from getting back to the house. She was the one setting up all those roadblocks, I think. Unless it was Wanda setting it up. He thinks it's Wanda that's doing it, but it could be her stopping him, in which case then she could be also stopping Monica as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I have a little bit of... Maybe we don't have all the information yet, but it's a bit convenient.
What do you mean by that?
Why did Agatha have to pretend in front of Vision? If she could have just, I don't know.
She was still trying to be a part of the charade, I think. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, but 5 minutes later, she breaks the charade. So,
this is the thing that I kind of look at what Blue Eyed Scorpio is saying here. It's like, are they going to pay off something in something else? Like, we've got, what's it called?
That would be a huge mistake.
It would be. It would definitely be. But again, I'm thinking, how can they close this in one more episode? I mean, the episodes of seriously, the length of time of these episodes really does shit me. We're getting episodes that are anywhere between 26 to 35 minutes long, and then you're getting 10 minutes of credits at the end. The last two episodes have had an end scene credit. I mean, an end credit scene. What was the one in this? I'm trying to remember, Stig. What was the end credit scene?
Vision. They rebuilt.
I remember thinking, you know how he's really white?
Yeah.
They made a really white guy. Now they're going to really push him down, probably kill him again. Yeah. Okay. So that was what happened. So they bought the real Vision to life.
Mara is wondering if you got any booty at your cousin's wedding.
You never know. You never know.
You should know.
Oh.
You don't know? Did your cousin slip you the a date rape drug or what?
I was pretty drunk.
Good Lord. So
yeah.
Congratulations, Rhino, on your new son/nephew.
What? No. That's weird. That's disgusting at the same time. Let's go back to White Vision.
I think Jade Shadow is correct. That's a no.
That is a no. It failed, but it's still it's a work in progress. Let's say that. Okay. Oh, now you've completely. Thanks, Mara.
Vision.
Well, good.
White Vision. So, okay. Do you think that there's any chance of this connecting to Falcon and Winter Soldier? Stig.
Yeah, probably. But I think what's going to happen is
He's from Ant-Man.
The normal Vision, basically. He can't leave that barrier thing because he's going to fall apart.
Yeah, so if the barrier comes down, he disappears, right? The Vision.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna put him into the new Vision.
His consciousness.
Yeah, so he gets.
But do you think the new Vision's woken up with his old consciousness, or do you think he's like?
No, I think it's just a robot.
He's a brand new computer with a fresh OS.
Okay, so where's the Mind Stone in all of this? I'm trying to remember now. Because Thanos destroyed the Mind Stone, and then at the end of Endgame, Cap took them all back to where they belong. It's so confusing, but that means that in this time period, actually, in this whole time period, there are no Infinity Stones at all.
Yeah. Well, depending on what Captain America did with them.
Oh, but then there's that split off with Loki taking the Tesseract.
Which is why time travel is stupid.
Bad. Yeah, that's really bad, actually.
I only like it in Terminator 1 and 2.
Oh,
and,
that Loki thing really throws a spanner in the works.
Because the story's around it. It's not used as a gimmick to correct something. It's a story about time travel. I think those can kind of work. Even funny movies like Hot Tub Time Machine. Like, I don't have a problem with time travel and those things because that's the premise of the entire show or the movie. But like, I don't.
Would this mean Black Widow is still alive?
Well, who knows? I mean, obviously, she's got the power to bring anyone back, really. But this is the thing: when Cap, are you talking about when Cap takes the stone back?
Yeah, I don't know what he sets.
I don't know either. And a lot of people have asked the question: what happens when he sees Red Skull as well? Because he's his main
I've
enemy.
only watched those movies once, so I am a normie. I don't remember too much, and I didn't think too much about it because when I watched it, it kind of made sense. I was like, okay. But
I'm just reading the chat. I'm just trying to make sense of what they're saying. So, yes, I understand that he created an offshoot, but in the real timeline, Thanos had the stones. He did the snap. The 5 years didn't disappear. The people, got snapped back 5 years later because Thanos destroyed the stones straight after he did it. So he had that stone from that timeline, but the stone disappears from where it's supposed to be within that timeline because Loki takes it away. See how confusing that gets? I understand that you're trying to say that it's an alt universe, but that means that there's no way that Thanos could have snapped originally. Confusing, eh?
Oh, which means, well, when they do that, though, wouldn't that render a bunch of movies kind of pointless?
Well, the Tesseract. What happens after? What happens to the Tesseract after the first Avengers movie? Because that's when the offshoot is, isn't it? So what happens? What happens to the Tesseract? I'm trying to remember. Somebody in the chat will know.
Isn't that one in Captain Marvel? It shows up in Captain Marvel, doesn't it? And
is that?
Well, that's because Captain Marvel takes place in the past before.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, and then they have it at the end of Thor.
Hydra has it.
No, so Fury has it. He has it at the end of Thor because he shows it to the Swedish guy.
Yeah, and then the Avengers movie, the Swedish guy, gets mind controlled or whatever by it.
Yeah, easy thing to do with Swedes.
They're all pointless already. Okay, so yeah, go on.
I was just gonna go here's exactly how you do time travel and multiverses the wrong way. And it is, you create such a convoluted mess, and eventually you get people like Stieg just ask, doesn't that make something irrelevant?
Yeah.
And when you start making your product, your entertainment product, something that doesn't matter anymore, the audience treats it as something that doesn't matter anymore. One of the big reasons that Avengers built up to the multi-billion-dollar franchise that it is because it all mattered. It was all this is all leading up to something, and it was that feeling that you can't miss out on what's going to happen,
or else you'll miss something.
Multiverses, as a general rule, and you can mix time travel in it, because time travel, I guess, is a way you can have a multiverse. So you can conflate the two. Multiverses are best used as good what-if scenarios. Like, what if Clark Kent was raised by the Luthers instead of the Kents? What if some major event just went slightly different, and you could tell an interesting story on that? But when you start taking multiverses into, hey, whatever the audience didn't like in the previous movie, we can just undo. Or, hey, we just signed this actor to a new contract. We thought he was going to no longer be doing this thing anymore, but now he's back, so we can just use the multiverse to bring him back in. And when you use the multiverse and time travel as a cheat to retcon and redo things, you're sending your message to the audience that shit doesn't matter. Whatever you see, who cares, doesn't matter, can be completely undone with just a line of dialogue in the next thing that comes out. And that's franchise, to me, that's, for normies, that's franchise poison. Especially with these bigger things. Multiverse could be interesting, but you have to use it very sparingly, and you have to use it wisely. You can't keep using it to correct shit. And it's same with time travel. You can't just keep using it to undo things because you wrote yourself into a corner. And unfortunately, there's the history in comic books with reboots and things like that kind of do that. But I'd rather just a flat out reboot than some convoluted, goofy way of writing the new reality without saying it's a reboot. To me, it's a gimmicky way to reboot things. And I think agree. You start losing your audience with this. And I hear you guys talk about this show, and from an outside looking in, somebody who's not going to watch it, it sounds to me like Marvel fans really wanting to like it, but just can't quite get there. And the only thing that kind of keeps coming back is these payoffs that you think might be coming. So it's this mystery box TV thing. But the way you guys talk about it doesn't sound like you like the show at all. Just
I think I think
a 7. There's no enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just want to say in regards to this, I thought they opened the multiverse in this show, but they actually haven't opened the multiverse because it wasn't actually her brother. It was Agatha dressed up as her brother. So I don't think they've actually opened up the multiverse at all.
In the last episode, Lord Vader, if you think that, you're stupid.
What did he say?
The payoffs are happening, Greg. That one.
In 30 minutes? You think there's going to be a satisfying payoff to all these?
I don't think so either. That's the thing. But that's where I come.
45.
That's where I come to the whole thing about the length of these episodes. But let me put. It's hard because especially those first couple of episodes, there was so much of nothing in them. They could have actually put those 3 episodes into 1 episode sort of thing. But, this is where I'm kind of thinking this is a movie that's been adapted to TV. It just feels that way to me as well. And I don't see how, this is sort of like the final act. These last 2 episodes, including the one that's coming, feels like that final act. And there's not enough time in there with what they're doing. If they come out with a 1-hour episode, so it's got to be an hour and 10 minutes, the runtime, because they got 10 minutes of credits. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And I just want to say, g'day. In regards to reviewing Wandavision, I'm probably just going to do a full season review of it. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a video or I might just do it as a specialized live stream. We'll just talk about that whole, because I might go back and actually watch just through it again, seeing as it's all there, and just watch it all as one big thing.
And the Luke Skywalker moment they talked about, it has to happen in the last one because if it was Quicksilver, that's kind of really...
Well, I think that's what they think it is. I really do.
Yeah, because so far they haven't hinted or foreshadowed anything. So if I don't know, Professor X or Magneto shows up, it would feel like it's completely out of the blue.
It would. I must admit, I said when I first started watching this, when we got about halfway through, I'm like, Magneto, I want Magneto to be the guy. I want him to be the guy that saves Wanda, because he is the guy again, they've actually, from what I've read and from what I've seen, this is different to what's actually in the source material for this story. They've done a decent enough job of adapting it, I think, but it's like you're saying, Stig, they haven't foreshadowed anything. There's nothing there that says that Magneto is going to show up. If Magneto shows up, it is going to be like that Luke Skywalker moment, but again, not earned at all, because it'll be out of the blue. He'll be an overpowered guy that can take out Agatha and somehow, but then there's the whole Vision storyline. They can't fit it in half an hour. How can they fit it in half an hour? How are they going to finish Vision's storyline? They're going to finish Wanda's storyline. They're also going to finish Agatha's storyline. And we've got to get some sort of payoff on on what we're seeing in regards to Quicksilver, I think. How we're actually viewing him, as he's not the Pedro that we saw in Age of Ultron, his Peter from the X-Men line. There's so much there that they need to still complete, and I don't see how they're going to do it in that amount of time.
Well, the final episode is going to be longer, I think, if I remember correctly. I think it was at least 45 minutes. What,
am I wrong, Lord Vader? Are they actually adapting this correctly based on the source material? From what I've been hearing, they're not. I haven't read the comics. The only thing that I've really got is the Marvel encyclopedia that I've got down there. And again, that tells Civil War very differently. That tells, there's actually a lot that I can get out of that. I don't know. I just don't know. Now, I just want to quickly share this quick interval here. I haven't seen it myself. This was made by Fat Steven. Thank you, Fat Steven Seagal, in the chat. Let's see what he made for us.
Fade in.
Doesn't even make any fucking
Fuck
sense.
off, Disney!
Fade out.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
suitable. I thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going to be longer than that. But thank you, Stephen. I got so many fuck off Disneys. I like the fade in, fade out, though. I've been putting that in a lot of my most recent videos. Not that. There's something else, he said.
Not that. Okay.
Okay, sorry, hold on. He did send me some other stuff. Let me just move this down here. Man, I'm so boomering this. I feel so out of practice. It's only been a couple of fucking days past the time that I usually do my stream.
50, even if it's 50 minutes, Lord Vader, like, for me, from what it sounds like, it needs to be wrapped up. That's going to be a pretty unsatisfying wrap up. And if it does lead into, like, the movies that are coming out, I don't know if that's a good idea either, because I'm going to guess that the audience that goes to MCU movies, like, at best 20% are probably watching the show.
Yeah. Well, you know, even if the payoff is kind of bad in this one, it's not terrible overall. Elizabeth Olsen's acting is really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's not the worst written show. It really isn't, even if the payoff ends up being a bit wonky.
Yeah, but, like, okay, so, like, not the best. I mean, that's, again, not very enthusiastic. Like,
no, it's kind of so far with what we've seen. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair, I guess, because I've been entertained, right? But you know,
the standard for MCU is must watch, and like,
this isn't a must watch so far, but
doesn't sound like it's compelling enough to draw the audience that it is.
A story is the sum of all its parts. So if the ending sucks, I'm certainly gonna lower it from a 7 to something else.
Well, yeah, if it doesn't pay off like it should, or you know, it just drops storylines, or just doesn't like, well, we forgot about that, and you know, maybe I'm very jaded, I guess, because I've seen this happen so many times with these streaming shows. Where they just kind of just drop entire freaking storylines and story arcs where it just like,
Game of Thrones.
We just forgot about all these things. Like Game of Thrones, any of the Star Trek Picard. Just there's a number of them where it just there's a lot of things that get hinted at and then just never pay off. And you can go all the way to Star Wars, Mandalorian, or the sequel trilogies as well. Like, you know, that's a story for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Yeah, and. Like, I think if you're MCU and you're gearing it to just read the comics, people, like, you're really limiting your audience down from where it was. Because, like, your typical audience is not going to go read the comic books to figure out where these storylines go. And, if you're into the comics and the references are, I'm sure, are cool.
You'd have to be able to find the comics, too. Which isn't necessarily easy these days, unless you go digital.
You know, how many people are even reading comics in general? So, I mean, the comics audience is already like a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah, the comic industry is really going to shit.
It's not prestige anymore. It's just it's not something that, again, it's not like you got to read it or you got to know it.
And you have bad writers. You know?
Well, bad writers, and you know, the fact that they keep rebooting everything and kind of redoing everything rather than kind of create new things. And again, you get into the scenario.
Wolverine as a girl.
Yeah, like, and then
Wolverine as a black man.
Your audience starts going, well, what does it matter anymore if it's just gonna get rebooted and doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Well, just while we've got another guest that's come in, and just before we do, I'm going to take a
Commercial.
quick commercial break. I think you'll like this one, Greg. I really think this one's for you.
All right.
So in tasting, what we do is take a small amount and line off the top. It doesn't take much. That's the warmest part right here. I'm going to invert the spoon. Cover all 9,000 taste bud. Aerate it. Warm it up. Driving up that top note, that cream, pure vanilla. Sweetener.
I want to punch this guy.
That's a 10.
This is how.
If you are sitting across from me at a table eating like that, I will fucking punch you.
I love the way he ended it. It's so weird. Hello, Fat Steven Seagal. How are you?
Hello, am I here just to help for tech support, or are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you for coming. First time on Casual Rage. Welcome.
Thank you. I loved you on the dock with the Justice League and Captain Phasma. You guys look pretty cool in that model shot.
Yeah. Now, I'll bring up the pictures. I brought you on because you sent me these pictures, and I thought better you try and sort of well, explain it. I think I know what you're showing here, but I'll bring up that one that I had up before.
It's not just that. It's the pit. That's the way I looked at Wandavision. When Wandavision first started off, it had a lot of potential to not pull like people who don't know much about the multiverse in, but it gave a lot of nods and kind of respect to comic book lovers. But as it came through, like eventually when they started doing that, oh God, I hate the Agatha Christie. I want to call her Agatha Christie song, that Harkness song. When it hit that point, it felt like they squandered the whole show and they made it something and they cheapened it. And that's where it kind of died out for me. Well, that and the other stuff that happened.
Yeah. The Agatha song was cringe.
It was very cringe. And the thing is, it's messed up because when they're showing her in the dungeon, right? I have a bunch of pictures. I just go through it like Easter eggs and stuff, right?
Yeah. Women who have
the dark hole, that book she has is not the same color as her magical ability. And I don't even think she is the main villain. I think she's a sublet. But this is what threw me off. You know how they keep saying that there's stuff hidden in plain sight in this show?
Yep.
Nobody noticed that picture in the back.
Yep.
And that's either Magneto, because it looks like one of the comic forms, or it is the Red Vision. So if they're going to pull in a Red Vision, that means they're just jumping all over the place with like 4 different comic book lines, going where John Byrne, like Vision Quest, it's Darker Than Scarlet, all the way through to House of M and stuff. And they're not picking a stable storyline. And it feels like they're just throwing things at people. And this is where the viewership is dying.
Oh,
so
it's lower decks. Reference.
No, it's like Mandalorian where they throw in the Easter eggs. But for those who don't know all the Easter eggs, like when it came to KOTOR and stuff like that, they're kind of like, well, I don't get it. What's with it? And they don't even do it the full Easter egg. They do it like the worm great dragon instead of the full great dragon, because dragons don't have legs.
Yeah.
But this is what bothered me, because a lot of the outro on the show, if you've noticed, is that 3 separate colors, like the Technicolor, the blue, red, and the green, like they had in the old school TVs, right? But when I saw this image and they brought up the Nexus, Man-Thing guards the Nexus. But look at the rectangle-shaped doorway, that's a green color. So if they're going to use the multiverse but use it through the Nexus, and they've already confirmed that Wanda is going to be a Nexus being, it means they're just warping it even more. So we're either going to get Professor X, Magneto, or someone from the Doctor Strange. Those are the 3 I can only think of.
Okay, from what you've seen and from what you've just said, how would you want this to end in this last episode? How do you think that they can end this with a satisfying conclusion?
Well, out of respect of the chat, hi Keely. Out of the chat, though, I'd have to ask. I already know that there's still someone who hasn't been shown yet. I already know that's what kind of spoiled it for me too. I know who's going to show up. Not as the Mark Hamill, but it has to be someone either just as powerful or just enough influence for the person that's going to show up in the last episode this week. And I don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah, there's something about the mailman.
The mailman, I think the mailman's either a Skrull or someone else, because remember that Talos the Skrull also survived Captain Marvel, right? And they've used 2 different characters so far, so I'm thinking Talos would be the second character, because Monica Rambeau was the kid in Captain Marvel, and they like attaching things. So if Agent Wu has an undercover source, right? We haven't seen him yet either, or her.
When was that revealed?
It was never revealed. That's the thing, though. Everyone's forgotten about his source when he was doing the billboard. He says, well, I got a source on the inside. We still haven't heard from that source. But the mailman, a.k.a. Dennis, he seems to know Wanda on a level that Wanda doesn't know him. And there's no way in hell he's Agatha in disguise, because there's no way he could walk past, still be in the back scenery, and be holding the dead dog at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's other things going on. They're doing a lot of weird stuff, but I don't think it's going to be Magneto. I think it might be Fassbender, but I don't think so. Because the Nexus commercial kind of tilts towards Professor X.
Well, the next movie that's coming out is a Doctor Strange one.
Carl
And
Mardo.
I'm guessing it's, they probably want to tie it into something that's coming out soon.
Do you think they would tie in someone from Falcon or Winter Soldier? But they're not very adept when it comes to...
No, I mean the movies. Because if they... they're kind of setting up something for a future movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the next MCU movie, isn't that a new Doctor Strange one?
That's 2022, though.
Yeah.
What is actually the next movie? It's
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Yeah, but nobody know what happens.
Yeah, we know. We don't care about that. So what's the next one after that supposed to be? Is that then?
Please don't be
Actually, I think maybe
supposed
it's
to be
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange. When's Doctor Strange?
What is what's their I don't care about Spider-Man titles anymore. What's the name of the next one coming out with Drake? I mean Toby. What's his name?
But you talking Winter Soldier and that?
Spider-Man.
No, that's Bad Boys. Yeah,
That's
Spider-Man.
Home videos.
Spider-Man kicked out from the home. Yeah, whatever. Spider-Man homeless.
Yeah, what did they name that?
I don't know.
Spider-Man homeless would be a
Shang-Chi.
funny title.
Spider-Man
He's just all
homeless.
he's the whole movie. He's just destitute and whiny.
Spider-Man panhandling for 2 hours. That's what you need.
Spider-Man Home Alone.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man versus Macaulay Culkin.
There you go. Yeah.
Peter Porker.
If what's his name from the 70s show can be Venom, then I say bring in Macaulay Culkin as Venom.
And I'll label another thing. You guys remember the people in the commercials, right? We don't know their identities either.
Yeah, that's another thing that they. But this, do you think that they can end this in 30 minutes?
No, it's definitely if they can't do this in 30 minutes because it would piss off everyone. This isn't Mandalorian. They can't. They should have either done it with 6 1-hour episodes. I've talked with a lot of people about this, or they should have picked certain comics that can benefit all the characters they're trying to introduce and gone that way. Because I'll break it down. If she is a Nexus being and she did decide to create her twins from shards of Vision and let's say the shards of Mephisto, because that's how it was in the comic books.
Yeah.
That means when Mephisto came back and reacquired those slivers of his soul, she went ape shit crazy. And she killed Agatha. She killed a bunch of people. And it wasn't until Doctor Strange showed up and showed her a memory so horrifying it comatosed her. And after that comatose, Magneto showed up and took her to Muir Island, Genosha, where she was treated by not only Magneto, but Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? Like they're not sticking with a stable storyline. And most people don't even know West Coast Avengers. So they're throwing that in as well. And especially with that Wonder Man, you're like sitting there going, why are you confusing half your viewer base with this?
You know what, though? Paul Bettany said it was an actor that he wanted to work with for his whole life. He's from England. I'm thinking it's Patrick Stewart.
It's got to be. It's got to be Professor Xavier, because if they're doing the Fox stuff, it makes sense that Patrick Stewart would probably show up in that wheelchair because, well, he has to do something better than Picard, and that's pretty much better.
But do you think that you know how you're saying about how the
card, man?
But
actually, what if it's Ian McKellen?
Well, I'm actually now starting to think that it is going to be Doctor Strange because, what you were saying, Fat Steven, they want the it all connected, and of course they want to ramp up. I mean, it has got some pretty good, viewership and all of this kind of thing. I think they know that it's reasonably popular.
Yeah.
This is the next thing that you were talking about.
This is one of the commercials. Like this is the really thing that's really right here. This is really highlights. It's the only really kind of vibrant color you see. So with the X10 thing has two purposes. It can either mean like Weapon X because everyone loves Wolverine. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, go jerk
We're
off,
not
I
going to
don't care.
see Wolverine. Not
It
no
also
chance.
no, but it also symbolizes that when the X-Men were formed, it was made out of 10 heroes, 10 mutants. But the first one was Professor X.
And 10 is also X.
Yeah.
So they're one X away from a porn movie.
But it's not even that. You're actually just said it right. If X is 10, then it's Professor X.
X is 10 in Roman numerals.
Spider-Man existing from home. Yes. And then we see
What are
this
the-
chick who's
what are the
winking at
circle
you.
things?
Well, because I don't know who this chick is, but they do weird imagery even for nods, and I've yet to find out what that picture is through Google image search. The second thing is, why are only some of the labels on bottles while the rest aren't?
It's Audrey from Twin Peaks.
Really? Is that the one in the corpse with before or after the plastic bag?
No, that's Laura Palmer.
I know. Do you know about the funny story, right? When they did the Funko Pops for Twin Peaks, right? People actually tried to start a petition on Change.org to cancel the Laura Palmer because they thought seeing a vinyl corpse wrapped in plastic was too horrifying.
Well, all of them are wrapped in
Really?
plastic when you buy them.
Well, it was a fictional person in a body bag. It doesn't really make sense to try to cancel that.
She's dead, wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, but the reason why I highlighted this part of the commercial is seizing your destiny. So, like the way, if you looked at the side effects, they all had weird stuff. So, if they're going with the Nexus, and I hope to God they're not going with the Nexus war from Fortnite, because Fortnite had a Nexus war had the Marvel Comics characters come into there.
Yeah.
And Marvel Comics and Fortnite are canon in the same universe, just so you guys know. And that includes The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. And J.J. Abrams.
God damn.
But I don't think they can pull it off. I'd have to say it has to be either Professor X, and it's either going to be the young variant or the Patrick Stewart variant. That's what I have to think it is.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I'm thinking Carl Mordo. But Carl Mordo is playing a trick on Agent Wu as a good guy because he's going around taking back magic in a Doctor Strange 2, right? So if there's a shit ton of magic here, and he thinks it's being abused, even subconsciously, because Wanda doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah. He might.
Well, it could be
Carl
both of
Morgan.
them.
I don't think he's big enough to show up and really give a satisfying ending to the story.
Luke Skywalker shows up and kills Agatha. And
Well,
walks
okay,
away.
let's think for a second that Quicksilver showing up isn't the Luke Skywalker moment that everyone's talking about.
It isn't.
That
don't think
means that it's got to be a big name.
I don't think it'll be Benedict, though, because it's been disproven that Benedict Cumberbatch would show up.
What if they've been able to keep this under wraps just as much as the Luke Skywalker moment, and they bring Wolverine in? Could you imagine that?
Well, the hint is in Bethany's comment. It said it was someone he wanted to work with all his life. Cumberbatch came around after Bethany started acting, so it's not him. It's someone he looked up to when he started acting. Bethany showed up in the early 90s, right? So McKellen and Patrick Stewart would have been the two he looked up to, I think, because they were both stage actors, and
See, this is the fun about. I just want to show, like, you guys are discussing and trying to break down, figure it out. That's the fun part of WandaVision. If you get through all the drama that's happened, like, the other thing is, we've pretty much figured this is the book stolen from Doctor Strange's thing, right, or missing from his library, but it's not the same magical power color as Agatha's. So what if Agatha doesn't even realize she's actually being possessed? Because remember the scene where she did with the witches and how she was absorbing the witches, and she looked surprised at first. So if she can absorb other beings of magic's power, and in the comics she loves using objects of magic for her own will, why is this book a different color and not her color at the same time if she wants to absorb magical properties?
Could it be what's his name? Go on, finish off. What were you saying? Sorry. Yeah, could it be him?
I have a strange feeling that might be, they might have made another book up, and this is the book of Mephisto, or a book that's related to him, and she has somehow been warped. Okay, let's go back. Fox Kids Spider-Man, the Carnage episode where Carl Mordo sends him off to gather souls in the jar. What if she's the same type of vessel but doesn't realize it? And that's how this is how Mephisto's going to be brought in. and the two people in the commercial trapped in the commercial because that's the only pocket realm they have because Wanda doesn't know about them. So they can't get actual parts. So if the people in the commercial are, let's say, Mephisto and Satana, and the slivers were created for the twins, do you see how it's falling in line now?
Yeah.
But you need someone that's on par with a demonic force if they're going the Mephisto route. And I don't think a telepath can fight a demon, can you? Nor can a guy with magnetic powers.
No. Neither would Wolverine. Wolverine wouldn't be able to do anything.
No, there's only a few that could do it. So it would
Doctor
have to be
Strange could.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange could.
Especially, does he still have the Green Stone? Does he still have the Time Stone?
No, because the Time Stone has been destroyed in this timeline by Thanos. There's no Infinity Stones in this part of the multiverse, whatever you want to call it. There's no Infinity Stones here.
Yeah. So is it Chung-Li?
Are they really going to go that?
Oh, no. We're just going to Jezebel.
It couldn't be. The only other one that I'm thinking is who's the guy that you mentioned from Doctor Strange who steals the magic at the end?
Call Mordo. Mordo.
It's the only other one that it could be.
Yeah. I think this was a hint, man. This is either Red Vision or Magneto, so they're going to do one of them.
This page I'm reading says it's the book is the Necronomicon, not the one from Evil Dead, but it's something from the Lanning Abnett run.
Does it have two keys on the cover? Because it could make sense if they are doing like the place above and the place below, right? So the top key is the key for heaven, and the low keys for hell.
It says Darkhold.
Agatha always mentions Ralph. Who could Ralph be? Could that be Mephisto?
I think Ralph. That's what I don't know, because Ralph.
And this is another thing. How do they close out all these storylines in one more 30-minute episode?
Yeah, I don't think 30 minutes.
You think it'll be an hour?
It'll probably be something like that, or they will have it
an hour.
Yeah, not gonna do it.
The name Ralph, the meaning of the name Ralph is a wolf council.
Or it could also be Ralph Roberts, the Skrull form that killed Iron Man in one of the universes. So that would bring in the Skrull as well as him, because he had connections with Captain Marvel again, and he's a shapeshifter.
Are there any wolves?
Well, the only wolf that I know of is Wolverine.
Well, Ralph means wolf.
Yeah, but it also could have been a nod just to Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. It's
they'd love to
they're gonna sweep the leg.
Yeah, you gotta sweep the leg.
Yeah,
but he was also a fictional character within the Marvel universe too. But this is another thing I thought of too. Is Ralph Roberts is that he's not only is he a Skrull, the way the kid's costume is kind of hinted towards that too, as Cobalt Man, because people have been throwing Cobalt Man out there too.
Usually they put hints in fake names.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you, do you mind how they've made Monica Rambeau, what's her name now?
Photon?
Photon. Because how she becomes Photon is different from what I've read in my encyclopedia.
They can do whatever they want, right? They can create a new Photon because it's the MCU, right? If they're going with the multiverse as a band-aid, they can do whatever the hell they want.
I like
right?
that.
Yeah, because Photon's a son, I think.
I like that Satana has a Swedish surname.
Mm-hmm. And their series ended not so long ago. I believe it was that crappy Son of Satan series they had. The Fenris Twins is why I thought about that as well, is because they're the Gifted series that also ended. There's a whole bunch of series that they can bring out, but Mark Hamill style for Marvel, who do you know that's that big besides Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool? Who?
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. This is all guessing, though. I don't know. But like,
yeah,
I mean, the show.
But see, the reason why you're guessing so much is because they've thrown so many different comic books together to come up with this one story. They've adapted so many different storylines, and it's not really
making
too much sense.
Yeah, I think
No,
to
it's
figure
not.
out if there's going to be a big reveal, you got to throw out the story. Don't even consider it. What is the best business move?
Yeah.
What's going to hype the next product? That's where they're going. Like,
so you see the next big toy?
Yeah,
not the next biggest toy, but who's going to lead into the next movie? Who's going to be the most buzz? Like, it doesn't have to make sense in the story. Like, well, I don't think they care.
But
like,
they've already
but
they've already introduced one X-Men, right?
Yeah.
So because they own it now, some Patrick Stewart.
But what they've also said though is that, but they've also said that this is a connector to a lot of the new Marvel movies and properties coming out.
Yeah, and they're going to have to use the X-Men because they bought them, right?
I just say it's going to be Doctor Strange because that's next up on the docket. That's the most logical thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that too.
That wouldn't be a Luke Skywalker thing though, because Doctor Strange was just seen a couple of years ago anyway.
Yeah,
it's
but like, I think
that,
it's to her a Mark Hamill moment. I don't think like she could be very much misinterpreting like the gravity or underestimating the value of Luke's return in Star Wars.
Spider-Man 3 Homesick is going to be 2021, December 25th. So that's going to be the next biggest one. So
that'll be the next one.
And if they want it, what if they want to pull someone out and they're actually going to announce who's going to play one of the Fantastic Four? They're going to pull out a Fantastic Four Easter egg.
It could. It's not going to be. I'm just saying that the decision is going to be.
I'm scared.
In business and marketing based, not story driven.
I'm scared of what they're gonna. I'm scared of how they're gonna do the X-Men. I'm scared of how they're gonna do Fantastic Four.
They're not X-Men anymore. They're just mutants. They can't be called X-Men anymore.
Yeah, no, I know. How stupid's that?
It is.
That shits me.
You want another scary thought, Ryan? Now think about it this way. Let's say Wanda. You know how they did that thing about how Wanda created the town, right? When her abilities went poop. Remember that one scene? Now imagine if she does that and it affects a radius so big that she creates the mutants and they go out with that cop out. Does a reverse worst day of mutant kind, and instead of taking away 92% of the mutant gene, it creates
50%. It creates 50%. Well, they've sort of half foreshadowed that with Monica.
Yeah, it's
Monica going through the thing so many times has pretty much turned her into a mutant.
Yeah, but she's now a Nexus being.
That would be such a cop out. I understand this, Biggles, that the biggest would be Wolverine, but how's Wolverine going to help Wanda in this situation?
And he's not fit at all. If you've seen Hugh Jackman lately, he does not look like Wolverine. He looks like someone who ate Wolverine.
He's definitely not in shape to play the role.
And they can't CGI all that crap, man, because they're there for one reason, to see the abs. And if they're going to go berserk mode Wolverine, honestly, he's still going to get affected, but he still gets affected by magic. That's the whole thing. You have to go, like, she's a Nexus being who's on par with the same magic abilities. Yeah.
Exactly. And what's Wolverine going to do? He's going to just charge at them with his claws out, and they're just going to quickly grab him and rip him apart.
Turn his claws into candy canes. He's done.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I don't think the parents, because they already introduced the parents. So the only way it could be is it has to be someone that we all know but don't think about, but it has also affected everyone.
Yeah, I'm still thinking Magneto. I'm actually thinking that they're going to bring him. But can I ask you, can Magneto's helmet stop any magic? I don't think it can.
Does Magneto?
I know it can stop, obviously, mind control, but can it stop mind control through magic? Because she demonstrates even in that she can manipulate the bug in Wandavision. She can manipulate the bug and basically put it on her face and control what it's doing. So, is that through the mind, and can the helmet prevent that? Or is that just a...
Well, the way they have it is that it has telepathic resistance and immunity, so it could... maybe prevent against her mind control, but not reality bending. That's a different. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's Magneto to a certain degree, just because I want to see her like, where have you been, and start bitch slapping her dad for an hour. That's what I want. So.
Yeah, that might come soon, Michael. Might come soon. we're going to talk about some Star Wars soon, so that'll
Oh,
definitely.
hold on, let me
help
get
out.
my sledgehammer from my face.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Look, we've been talking about this for an hour. What are your final thoughts on it? We'll start with you, Stig. Like, what do you think? What do you hope for? What? Give me your thoughts.
I just hope for a good conclusion to what's been a fairly interesting TV show, right?
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Worst
So you
case
think Professor
scenario,
X?
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Which won't hurt at all.
Yep. All right. I know, Greg, you don't really have anything to say on the topic. Do you have anything to say in regards to it all? I know you're not watching it, but yeah.
I just kind of hope that she blows up the entire universe and it never comes back.
Yeah. Fair enough. She can. But then they'll just create a multiverse. That's how they retcon there being no Infinity Stones, and they'll start that whole storyline in another part of the universe, multiverse. Fat Steven, and what are you hoping for? What are your thoughts?
They better pull a Bullwinkle and pull more than just a rabbit out of their hat, because at this point, it's a great Easter egg. It's literally, you know what I mean, though? It's a Where's Waldo book. That show is a Where's Waldo book because there's a lot of things in it.
The rabbit isn't in the hat; it's in her arms.
Actually, that cat is a euphemism for Ebony, which is her cat, which is actually a mythical creature that can transform into like a battle cat size.
Right.
And it talks. So yeah, that's why she gave it. Do you notice how she gave it to the kids for a while, and it was actually doing recon within the house?
I rest my case.
It has potential.
Point.
Yeah, I concede your kibble.
I'll bunny hop away,
and I will rabbit foot your ass.
Excellent.
We make a wish first.
The puns.
I love the butt end of a joke. But it's good for what it is. I'm gonna say that right now. Honestly, if someone has the time and effort and wants to recut it so it goes in like timeline form, like Monica getting sucked in, like waking up and getting sucked in, and recut it a different way, it could probably be a great show. But they need a goddamn documentary, like a what do you call it? Director's commentary over top, and they have to tell people in this episode what storylines they're going from, how is it all connected, and how much glue they were sniffing before they put it in their hair.
Yeah. I like that. Fair enough. See, for me, I go on.
Will this show be released on Blu-ray?
No. I don't see it happening.
So that means, since it's part of the MCU, people will never get to have a physical copy of the whole MCU, because this little middle part is only going to be on streaming.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, Stig. How many people bought Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was on Blu-ray or DVD at least? I can tell you now there would be people out there that love the movies and everything that still haven't bought that.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping for is, to be honest with you, I don't see how they can complete. Even if they went for an hour, if it went for 50 minutes, whatever, I don't see how they can complete all of these storylines. There is just too much. They've created so much that needs to be answered in such a small amount of time that I don't see it being possible. They almost need a movie to actually finish this.
I think it was supposed to be a movie. Instead, they decided to just convolute it into a series.
That's what I thought too.
And Agatha squandered. They ruined Agatha.
Yeah.
Ruined.
I want to see Mephisto. I think he needs to be a part of this story. And we also need to see for me, it's
I will give you a plus, because Biggles brought this up. Watch it be Brie Larson and Monica Rambeau kills her.
Captain Marvel shows up.
Yeah, and they kiss.
Oh God, I don't want that at all.
What if Captain
Disney
Marvel shows up in
watch
that sauna onesie swimsuit from that video? You know, what if she shows up in that onesie, like just leaning over a little bit the whole scene?
I hope it's Captain Marvel and that she shows up and kisses Monica Rambeau.
Did you see her post?
That's the reveal.
Did you see her post that she claimed Thanos cheated and that's why she didn't she could have beat Thanos, but Thanos cheated.
Oh, whatever.
I am not.
Dumb
Whatever.
bitch. Dumb bitch.
And
She
rumors
doesn't know
are
what
that
she's
Thanos is
talking
coming
about.
back. There's
I
rumors.
love all the Star Wars. That's what she's saying there.
Yeah. That there's rumors that Thanos is coming back too.
Yeah.
My prediction. Sorry, just quickly. I just want to say my prediction for who's going to be this Luke Skywalker moment. It's either Magneto or Doctor Strange.
What if it's actually Mark Hamill as Mephisto?
Yeah.
Oh, I want William Dafoe. William Dafoe looks a lot more like Mephisto.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
There was somebody I was
Steven Seagal.
I'm too busy. I'm too busy dancing with melons in Russia right now. Shh! Don't tell anybody.
There was actually somebody I thought of for the casting for Mephisto, but I've completely blanked on it now. I'll probably think of it shortly.
Lethal?
Yeah, maybe. No, his dick's too big.
Here's the danger of it leading into a movie. Is it then going to make it like? So if I go see Doctor Strange, but I didn't see this movie, am I going to be like confused? Like,
no.
Because I mean, you can't wreck the movie by making like the TV show a prerequisite, because you're going to lose half of your audience, and you're going to have to spend a lot of time explaining in your movie the references to the TV show you're making, and that's just bad movie making.
What I think is going to happen, Lost Jedi, is that whatever happens in the last episode is going to be used as the opener, and then it's going to fade in on Doctor Strange and stuff from other universes, whether it be demonic, crazy, whatever, is going to start feeding in, and that's going to trigger off the movie. Because you have to remember, Doctor Strange 2 is going to have
American Chavez.
We won't see Doctor. I just thought of something. We won't see Doctor Strange in Wandavision until the end credit scene.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll probably see him in the end credit scene. But the big guy that shows up, that's it. The big guy that shows up will be. I've got to believe that it's going to be Magneto. Because of how they've fucked up so much with Agatha, I don't see how it can be Magneto, because Magneto can't do anything as far as I'm concerned at this point in time. Who did you say it was that Magneto that takes Wanda or helps Wanda first before Magneto shows up? Didn't you say?
Okay. Oh, you've been talking about the comatose part. Well, in the comics, Doctor Strange literally comatoses Wanda during her freak out to a memory so horrifying.
That's right.
It comatoses her. But Magneto is the one that comes and gets her.
From Doctor Strange, though, right?
From the event. So even if Doctor Strange isn't showing up, but
okay,
it's they don't have any options. That's the problem. They don't have any. I don't think they have any options. And the only other thing I can think of is what if it's Loki? What if it's Loki and that's how he gets captured, and that brings in the Loki series, and then you get Loki for one episode, and then it goes to that female Loki the rest.
Oh God!
Well,
that's actually what's happening.
That sounds like modern Disney.
How would you feel about Loki showing up? He's not a part of this storyline as far as I've ever seen or read or
he picked
heard.
up the Tesseract when they did it in Endgame. Remember, he disappeared.
I understand that. That means that he can essentially do what you're saying, but again, that's not adapting anything. That's now making up something completely new, isn't it?
Marvel. That's agreed. That's just a hearsay, but
yeah, I hope it's not that.
I'm hoping for Professor X. I'm with sticking this one out, but I can't put expectations when it comes to anything with a Disney attachment to it. That's the whole thing. Because every time we get an expectation, it either gets yay, and then we get called a racist.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas.
Let's get also too. Let's actually go around the horn. And are you excited to see Falcon Winter Soldier?
Bad Boys 3?
Yeah. You excited?
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah.
Are you excited for that at all, Fat Steven?
Honestly, if it's rated R, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I'll give it a chance.
Is it supposed to be rated R?
That's the rumors. It's supposed to be rated R.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm iffy because I've heard also it's going to be very recent, current day politics style in it as well. Yeah, I'm not trying to ruin your day, bro.
No. Trust me, I'll react to anything fucking stupid. Um,
I'd rather have that than genital swap Eternals. You know,
yeah.
it's like the gambling game with the cards. Where's the genitals? Pick the genitals. You for 5 cards for stud. You know.
It's kind of like though with like Thor and stuff like that, like female Thor, and I don't know, it's stupid. Are you excited to stick it all for Falcon Winter Soldier?
I'm probably gonna watch it, but I don't feel the need to, you know. Yay!
Yeah,
I think Falcon is bloody boring.
Why does he need a shield?
I like the Winter Soldier; he's cool, but Falcon is.
Why didn't the Winter Soldier get the shield too?
But what bothers me is like they showed the trailer, right? It's like he has the shield, but then he's using his wings as a shield in the next scene. I'm like, why does he need the shield?
Yeah.
And they gave Winter Soldier a lesbian haircut named Julie. It's really weird.
Yeah, and he has wings. That's it. I mean, it's like a really shitty Iron Man, isn't it?
It's like
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have any superpowers or anything.
Yeah, he has wings.
How's he supposed to throw the shield like Cap can?
Flapping Marvel.
The shield wasn't it designed based off the fact it was for a super soldier, so they wanted something that was indestructible, but at the same time could be used as not just a defense mechanism, but as an attack mechanism at the same time. That's why the Winter Soldier would have a better use for it. Falcon can't even throw it if you see the trailer. So
You know what it actually is? Falcon is going to be a bird with a frisbee.
Play pigeon shooting?
Yeah, it's just going to be a bird tossing a frisbee. It's stupid.
That's so funny, Someone make a Duck Hunt meme where it's literally just someone from the Duck Hunt game, and you see this Falcon with the shield flying by, and the dog's just
You see the dog that sits there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. He started off as an interesting character in the movies, in one that was like, you know, like a decent backstory. He's you know doing kind of group therapy. He's you know a war veteran, and then they turned him into generic quippy MCU character number 712. And yeah, his whole premise is a shitty Iron Man with barely any weapons, barely any defensive capabilities. He's like, if the Avengers are coming for you, you're like, you're hoping that he's on the team because he's an easy one to take out.
I am.
You're like, oh yeah, I don't want to go up against. Oh, I'll go up against Falcon, no problem. Like,
yeah,
he's a lame character.
Yeah, Big Bird.
And they turned him into just another generic, overconfident, cocky character.
I mean, if you think about it, look at the people he's around. You know, you have Black Panther, you have Captain America, right. Doctor Strange. What the hell does he have to be cocky about?
Yeah,
he's like easily the worst of the lot.
He's surrounded by so many.
Yeah, he should have the same attitude as what's his name. He's like, I'm just a dude with bow and arrow. You know, like
yeah, it's like you know, it's like he shows up in one of the Expendable movies and he gets a broken bottle as a weapon.
I'm sorry.
Not really impressive.
What bothers me is that when they delivered him in the trailer at the beginning, he's looking up the Captain America thing. Are you really going to play how hard it is to live up to a white man kind of scenario? Because that's the way it gave me. And I was like, are you kidding me? You're going with this? I understand taking on the mantle of Cap is more than everything. But then why does it the next thing it goes to USA Agent? USA Agent's on the West Coast Avengers. And that's played by Kurt Russell's son. It made no sense. That costume looks like he picked it up out of the Value Village. Okay, it's horrible.
Oh, that's actually something you mentioned. White guy. That reminded me of White Vision. Like, what's the go with that, Fat Steven? Like,
I don't want to think about it because
okay,
I feel like it's there's too many storylines. I'd rather watch Chris Farley half naked doing that dance from Saturday Night Live. I'd rather watch that.
Are you excited for Loki at all?
Yes.
Okay.
But the fact that he's Middleton's only going to be in one episode and then it's going to turn into the female Loki, I'm debating. So I'm hoping it's not going to be like a what's the one? Jodie Like, I don't watch Doctor Who anymore to care. What's her name?
Jodie Whittaker.
I don't want her to be a Jodie Whittaker. That's what I just don't want it to.
Is that her name? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So Loki's gonna turn into a woman.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Supposedly he's captured, and it's going to be like some other kind of.
What are they going to call him? Loco?
Yeah. Loki.
E.
Women are actually crazy, so Loco would fit.
It's going to end up with "Shut up, Loki." The men are talking. That's pretty much what it is. Like, she laughed.
See, this is the thing. Like, it's so funny. You know, we get 10 years of the MCU, and as movies keep getting announced and we keep getting more, like, the more excited I was sort of getting to see these. As bad as some of them might have ended up being, I was still quite excited to keep moving forward and keep watching it. I don't feel that excitement anymore.
Did you guys see the new product placement they have for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No.
Well, I found their sponsor.
Stay free, the Falcon.
Overnight with wings.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's gold.
You don't even need it's a shield within itself, right?
Yeah.
Which
it
actually fits perfectly because he's a twat.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. People are gonna be rushing out to Walmart going, "Hi, do you have the Falcon maxi pads?"
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's funny. Okay. Well, look, I think we've spoken enough about the MCU. I'm a little bit. I'm just scared of anything Disney's got hold of, to be honest.
Bro,
now,
you want to have faith? Invincible, Amazon animated series coming, done by the same guy who did the Walking Dead series. So picture One Punch Man violence with blood, though, in a Western style cartoon comic.
Okay.
You know what? They're doing a Terminator animated show by the people who did Ghost in the Shell.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Same studio.
Same studio.
3D animated studio or original, like 90s first movie?
I don't know. It said it was the studio that did Ghost in the Shell. Or doing a Terminator animated show.
So everybody's basically on the same page. It's all going to be the MCU. There's a couple of things in there that, yes, I'm even sort of excited to see. Like, I love the first Doctor Strange, and I really hope they can do the second Doctor Strange justice. Mm-hmm. I just hope that there's not too much that they've actually created through Wandavision that it's actually going to end up sort of fucking. Again, it's like you've been saying, though, Fat Steven, they've fucked so many storylines.
Yeah.
They can't complete it in this. So they're going to have to bring some of it into some of their other stuff, surely. And they want to have it connected that way. But the problem is that some of these storylines weren't so connected the way that they're trying to make them connected. You know what I mean?
I just had a thought, though. Since Spider-Man's going to be like the major big one that has to do with Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
So let me get. What I'm guessing is that something's gonna happen with Wanda, and that's what's gonna create the opening of the Spider-Verse to feed into Holland's movie. Then from there, something is gonna still happen, and I think Wanda's the center point, and it's gonna show how it affected Holland's movie line and how the Spider-Verse doorways opened up with different Spider-Men if they're doing that. And Doctor Strange, it's gonna show the same thing. It's gonna show whatever happened from Wanda to his part in the world. And how it's opened up doorways from his multiverse of madness. And if they really wanted to be bad, and somehow she created a reality where a different Black Widow is now in our reality, and that's how she can still be alive, maybe. And it goes from prequel to now. That's just back of the head thinking. But what do I know? I'm Black Debbie.
Hello, Black Debbie. I hate the fact that I'm scared that they're going to make Wanda blast this force field all the way around the
She
Earth.
uses that brand. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I highlighted that before. Yeah, I hate the idea of Wanda actually like using that blast and it going around the entire Earth, and then like you said, it's going to be a cop out if they do that in regards to making mutants.
But
If that's how they go about it,
sequel trilogy with that too, right? Because they're in the same universe, right? So they can
it should
the whole sequel trilogy.
It should be that way. It definitely should be that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, like I said, there are little bits and pieces that I'm sort of excited to see. I'm keeping my excitement quite reserved because, again, it's all owned by Disney. I hate fucking Disney. Yeah. Fuck off, Disney, you fucking cunts.
If Disney didn't have an attachment though to it, right? Would you still see it as Marvel? Because when you hear the Marvel, you hear Disney first. Right? If that wasn't attached, do you think it's a bit different?
Well, it's a good question. This is the thing. If people were involved that would honor the source material and actually are actual fans and actually can adapt these things well, like, okay, whether or not you're a Zack Snyder person or not, seeing how passionate Zack Snyder is about these characters and how much he loves these stories, even if there's maybe a slight change here or there, it's still, it's kind of like, I'll bring it back to the sequel, the prequel trilogy, right? There's some bad stuff in those movies, but it tells a cohesive story and still goes right through, and it's still a good cohesive, like I said, story, and the laws stay in place and all this kind of stuff. I know there was no real source material maybe necessarily for George Scott. Actually, there probably was by then. But anyway, I just, it's a hard one because I think I'd still criticize it the same, actually, because if I look at the X-Men stuff that Fox did, like I don't have nowhere near as much hate for Fox as I did for Disney. And there was still stuff in there that I didn't like, and I definitely voiced those opinions on those movies. But there's definitely, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right on the money there. But like Days of Future Past, I definitely enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Anyway, like there's and even in like the X-Men Origins Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
I don't like the way that movie ends. The final act of that movie, I didn't like at all. But there were parts of it that I did, even in that final act. But there were bits of that movie that I didn't mind. I don't know. It's just, I feel like I would still be criticizing it the same way. I mean, my hate for Disney comes for what they've done with Star Wars, but I just don't see they're going so woke with all their shit. Their fucking bullshit virtue signals that they keep coming out with each week. It's still run by the same people. Like, okay, Lucasfilm, I understand, is separate from Marvel, right? But they're still essentially employing these people, and with what we hear about the MCU and all that stuff happening, I mean, I don't know.
That's a good answer.
It just scares me.
I don't know is a good answer because you're saving yourself from expectations, but you're also saving yourself by applying the rage of that expectation let down before you get to see it. So I don't know is a good answer, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from the Marvel stuff. Yes, they're both just chilling. It's not the usual Friday night, so they might come past. We'll see. I don't want to call them over because then they'll annoy the shit out of me. If they come over, anyway, we're going to have a quick commercial break. There you
I
go.
remember that commercial so well.
That's the first time I saw it was tonight. I'm like, that's pretty funny, actually.
When I see that, I remember a comedian's line. It was like, children are God's way of punishing people for having sex.
I have that commercial on my channel, I think.
The one I just played?
Yeah, the condom one.
Oh, I haven't seen that on your channel. That's so funny. All right, what we're going to move into now is we're going to talk a little bit about the whole cancel culture stuff and a few people that have actually mentioned a few things. Fat Steven, you still cool to hang around, or you got to?
I would love to. I just wanted to apologize if I talk, but I like talking, so I'm trying to apologize for verbal diarrhea.
No, all good.
Because I've been following cancel culture, but I've been following it through a Destiny streamer, and Upper Echelon just did a video about it, right? Say No to Rage. He's gone through the same kind of stuff that Gina's gone through, but this is with the Destiny. And they not only got him kicked off the platform, they try to get him canceled off the Outriders demo. They're trying to get him canceled off YouTube. Now everyone, after the Echelon video dropped yesterday, dude, there are literally like game conventions blocking people, and now trying to go back on their words. It's so funny watching them backtrack, but cancel culture sucks, man.
Well, I do definitely find it funny how the cancel mob on Twitter has definitely gotten way more emboldened from what happened with Gina Carano.
Yeah,
they've got some really big fucking nuts right now, and they're trying to go after who's the chick that plays Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson. They're going after her. I have no doubt that soon they're going to go after Bill Burr, especially
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's another one. I've been watching Yellow Flash, and there was a jet engine that had the name. It was a Pratt and something engine, and just because it had the name Pratt, it got fired Chris Pratt or canceled Chris. I don't know what it was, but it's able to get a fucking thing trending again. It's what the fuck.
But do you find it kind of weird though that this whole mob, this cancel mob, right? They want inclusion for everyone. They want everyone to be like recognized and respected at the same level. Yeah, they're going after men, women, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, your dear girl off Twitch. They're going after all of them, and they're going against their whole narrative, trying to be inclusive because they just want to be offended. They're literally the blob monster from the '80s movie. They're never going to be fulfilled. Never.
No. And I want to throw credit out to Gina Carano for not bending the knee and not even apologizing. And she's got nothing to apologize for. And that's the key there, is that as soon as you do apologize, you're admitting fault in this instance, right? Okay. You're actually saying, okay, yes, I fucked up. I'm sorry. That's not the way to go about it. And I really I don't know, did you all see Bill Maher? Did you all see that?
I hate Gina Carano is the actress I never knew and wish I never heard of.
Yeah, like I fucking hate the way he sort of goes about it, but in the long run, what he's saying is fucking dead on. It's and we're gonna play. There's 2 clips from Bill Burr, and there's the one from Bill Maher. Well, we're gonna watch all of them. We'll go through them sort of one by one. Of course, the first person to come out and really even say anything was Bill Burr. And I can't remember where it was from, like late February, 21st of February. This is uploaded onto YouTube. This is the Monday morning podcast that I think he does.
To be fair, though, he didn't say that much. And he also kind of covered his ass a little bit.
Yeah, but again, I look at the cancel mob that's out there. They don't fucking care. Just the fact that he's even slightly defending her, and he doesn't even name her in this first one. In the second one, he does, but in this first one, he doesn't say her name at all. So I understand, and it goes to just to show what Gina was saying in her interview with Ben Shapiro in regards to everybody in Hollywood being so fucking scared.
The podcast where he had with Burr Kreischer as well, that clip as well.
Yeah.
Did you notice that the guy on the bottom doesn't know what the F he's talking about? He makes the most stupidest points, and I wish he would just shut up. Yeah, he literally just took it way off subject.
Mm-hmm. There was a bit there. Let's just play this. This is less than a minute. We'll just quickly play it, go through it.
And then, I'm also having a bad week because, I don't know. because of social media took out yet another friend of mine, and I just don't know. I don't know. It seems like now you can literally make a statement that is uninformed. It's just unbelievable. It's unreal. I mean, just fucking. I don't get it. You know, I don't agree with what I read, but I mean, do I think that then you should just everybody gets the electric chair? There's just no like, hey, you know, you might want to read up on this a little bit more before you compare this to that. You know, it's just like flamethrower lit, done. Fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy goddamn times. Anyway.
I like the way he ends it because it is crazy goddamn times at the moment. You know, we talk about it on the Full Aussie all the time. You know, we live in a clown world. I think there's so many actual channels out there that, you know, we live in a fucking clown world. We really do. And the fact that these companies do bend the knee to this mob, and I have to think that the mob is like 10 people with 100 alt accounts. Sort of thing. Like it's not that big. It can't be that big. And the reason why is because something that Bill Maher brings up, about 80% of Americans hate the hypersensitivity these days. But nobody will stand up to it. Gina Carano is honestly, like, we've heard of people being cancelled, but they always bend the knee. They always apologize. Because it's like Bill Maher says, it's the easy fucking thing to do.
But it's also the wrong thing to do.
It's exactly right.
Even if you're not apologizing to all of it, they will make it all of it because they finally have something to make a narrative of. That's why she didn't want to do the 40 people yelling at her on the Zoom call, because what would happen is she would say one thing, and there's 40 people recording, and they would all twist it around and verify each other's alibis of hate mongers.
Yep. And what's to say that they can't then edit that video to even make her look worse? You know what I mean? Like, take out context so that when she's, you know, she might even just say, yeah, I'm a transphobe in a sarcastic manner from substance that was, you know, some context that was done before. All they have to do is wipe that out. And that, yes, she admits she's a transphobe, you know, for not putting pronouns in her bio or something like, you know, I mean, the mob that's out there, the cancel culture mob that's out there, we've seen it. They spin the words to make it mean something that it's not. That any normal person can actually go, that's not what she's fucking saying. Like, in regards
to this, the problem is the media and Hollywood are catering to people that are mentally ill. That's, you know,
Raylos.
But it's like I said, it's now emboldened them because they've succeeded. Yeah. They've actually won a fight and they've shown that what they're doing works. So, okay, all they need to do now is spin enough lies, make sure it gets enough mainstream media attention, and it's all over. Rosario Dawson's gone. Soon there's going to be no actors playing in The Mandalorian except for all... No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not confirming that. I'm just saying, you know, the next thing you know, she's gone. Bill Burr's gone. There's going to be no one left in The Mandalorian except for all these people that have the right politics, but they're allowed to go out and say, well, yeah, half of America, you know, are like the losers in 1940s.
But Rhino, can I ask you a question? I know this sucks. I know it hurts a lot of people because a lot of people love Cara Dune and Gina Carano and her character. Yeah, I know she can't act in Haywire. I know people make that joke. But at the same time, don't you think Gina also kind of won? Because she's now free of the mouse and free to bigger projects and free to be herself without having 4 million, 5 million people on Twitter constantly attacking her with false accusations. Because her saying about how you could try to destroy me with lies and I can just destroy you with the truth. She has the ability to be on her own true self's path again. And after they were done with her, they went after the store that was doing the charity.
Yep.
Everyone's a target.
Yeah, no, I understand that. This is the thing that I look at with Gina, and I think I mentioned this last week on the show. She is the little snowball right now at the top of the mountain, right? Now, as the snowball rolls down the mountain, it gets bigger and bigger, and it builds more momentum, and will just end up dominating in the end, right? Creates a massive avalanche, let's say. The thing is that the next person needs to stand up to it. You know, these people that are afraid in Hollywood need to take a page out of Gina Carano's book and actually start standing up for themselves, standing up for their rights, standing up for their right to have an opposing opinion. They need to start doing that. But I don't know whether or not it will or not. This is the thing. I mean, you look at this.
It doesn't have to be. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I understand your rant and I understand your anger behind it. But look at it this way: you have to look beyond just the celebrities to stand up. What Gina did in that interview, whenever families watched that and shared it, Gina gave a younger generation a role model to stand by your principle and to stand by your soul. So even if we don't see it in celebrities in Hollywood in general doing what she did, we're going to have kids who realize it's okay to be themselves because of that interview and how she stood her ground. So she gave a life lesson that's pretty much been passed on to a lot of different people.
The thing is, though, not too many people are going to see that interview.
It doesn't matter. It's all over every social media, and the ones that actually shared out, it's still even a small amount of people. And guess what? Then they'll share with their friends. I can't say that it's only a small amount of people that it won't grow. There's always a possibility for certain. Even it takes a small few to change a whole lot. It might just take time. And if they go after Carl Weathers or Rosario Dawson, guess what? We're still. I'm going to use this as a hashtag, but the Phantom Menace will always be there. There will always be supporters for people who know the actual truth. The problem is they have to have faith that people are always going to be behind.
5,000.
But 5,000 is still 5,000. It's still 5,000 voices. I know I'm not trying to sound like it's only a hashtag. But I'm just using it as a reference. Fans and people who understand what's going on are always going to support the ones that are being attacked for no reason. So you got to have some type of hope in these kind of situations.
I get that. And I do, like, with everything that happened with Gina, it has made me actually have a little bit of hope for the future with all of this. But again, I see it, you know, I mean, obviously Lucasfilm, the thing that also disgusts me with all this, Lucasfilm and Star Wars and Disney and everything still haven't even put out a statement. They won't because it's way too late now. But they didn't, you know, we find out that they didn't even have the balls to tell her she's fired to her face before it got out to the media. And she finds out on social media that she's fired. Absolutely disgusting. We don't get a statement. We don't get anything. How disgusting is that? Like, no respect whatsoever.
Well, this is like the third time. Remember when they were doing the Clone Wars, the new season? There's some half-filmed episodes there, right? That weren't done when Disney canceled it in the first place. And they were going to have some episodes with Ahsoka's love interest, the Asian guy. That voice actor was told through social media too that, no, we're not going to.
We're not using what we filmed.
And the Ahsoka voice actor who people wanted to play Ahsoka, she also found out on social media that, nope,
she's not.
This is like, that's 2 times Filoni, though.
That's okay.
So I'm kind of wondering, you know, he's director and producer on this as well. It's starting to be a pattern.
Yep. But not only is there a pattern with that, but there's a pattern with how that, like, obviously their bullshit virtue signals, their hypocrisy. It's all it hasn't changed in a long time. And you're only starting to see it more and more and more. The crazy thing that I don't understand is how they don't even see it. Either they do or they're choosing to ignore it, or they're literally that stupid that they actually think that they are doing the right thing.
Oh, they absolutely think they're doing the right thing. Like I said, they're mentally ill. This is a whole generation of people that have been taught, you know, that if you scream loud enough, you get what you want.
Because they've been raised to believe that everyone deserves a trophy, no matter how much no work you do. They've never understand the word no. They don't understand how it is to work hard and still fail, because that's part of life. And they keep getting handed things because that's all they know. They're living in a sheltered echo chamber their whole life. So the concept of hard work, even when they think they are hardworking, it's still never their fault if they fail. It's everyone else, and then they call them names. We can go into the authors. We can go into anyone. It's complacency of laziness. You're not raising your kids to understand the value of how reality works. It doesn't matter if you're rich, you're in the medium class tier, or poor tier. You should always understand hard work will not always pay off. You can't understand that concept. You should not be on platforms complaining that you didn't get your way. You're not 5. The world doesn't run at a 5-year-old mentality. Twitter does, but reality doesn't. And these people have not ever learned that. And they're spoiled effing brats.
Just so you know, Blake, I'm working on a video and I'm hoping that will reveal my sources. So we'll see.
Is it the I'm gonna guess it's someone who knows the cousin of someone involved with catering.
And something it's close. It's close.
I think a couple of those parents, for the people that those complainers on Twitter, like the whole cancel mob, I think a lot of those parents didn't see that condom commercial you played earlier. That would probably wrap it up sooner.
They need that for sure. Lord Vader asked earlier, what do you think, Lost Jedi? And while you're answering that question, I'm going to go grab myself another drink. I'll be right back. What do you think of this whole Bill Burr cancel culture? You haven't said anything for a little while.
I'm outside at the moment, so you're going to get a lot of wind. Somebody else can talk for a minute.
Is this Bob blowing us?
Yeah, he's such a blowhard.
He's full of hot air. Sounds like Tuscan Bob is winded. Welcome to the Awkward Silence Show.
Yes, well, that didn't really work, did it? Everybody
No, it didn't.
Didn't say anything. Thanks, guys, for holding the fort. All right, well, what I should have actually done is probably played the Bill Maher clip because that was a 6-minute clip. We'll do that. Let me just share my screen. Because again, I will say I am happy to see some of these people actually come out and at least talk about it and at least address it. And I think the fact that Gina Carano hasn't actually bent the knee is what's now sort of emboldening these guys to. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like his face either. But yeah, it's emboldened these guys to sort of at least come out and say something. But I also don't understand why it's taken so long. Anyway, let's play this.
Wait a minute. Teresa says you need a woman to yap at times like that. She's talking about the dead air, I think.
The dead air, yeah.
Well, I have to counter that because we did hear the wind blowing, and when women yap, it's nothing but empty air anyway. So we got that
I'm
covered.
hiding under my desk. You guys.
Carry on.
I'm pushing play.
Liberals need a stand your ground law for cancel culture so that when the woke mob comes after you for some ridiculous offense, you'll stand your ground. Stop apologizing because I can't keep up anymore with who's on the shit list.
Now, the other thing that I will say about this is I don't like the audience reactions. I don't like, again, I understand that he's a bit of a comedian, sort of that late night show comedian sort of thing. I get that, but this is a topic that I know. I'm not laughing about fucking cancel culture. I don't care what kind of spin or what kind of reference you put on it as a joke. I mean, yeah, I watched Bill Burr's thing. That was kind of funny, that stand-up intro, whatever it was that he did, about all the white women being basically virtue signaling. There's I don't know, it just falls a little bit flat with this dialogue for me in regards to the jokes that he pulls out. But anyway.
19K Fox is in the chat.
Yes.
I have to let him know that today, 19K Fox, I put up a video with you and me in it on my channel.
Oh, yeah, it's very funny. I watched that before we started this stream. Very funny. You remember you had to go and return a video. give you a clue. But yeah, that was that was very funny improv. Very, very good.
Now, lately, Republicans have been trying to appropriate the term cancel culture to describe what happens to them when they get a just comeuppance for actual crimes. And this muddying the water is unfortunate because cancel culture is real, it's insane, and it's growing exponentially, and it's coming to a neighborhood near you. If you think it's just for celebrities, no. In an era where everyone is online, everyone is a public figure. It's like we're all trapped in the hills have eyes and Wi-Fi. Take Mr. Emmanuel Cafferty. He was a San Diego gas and electric worker, but he got fired because someone reported him making a white supremacist hand gesture outside the window of his truck. But he's not a white supremacist, he's Latino. And he wasn't making a hand gesture, he was probably just flicking a booger.
I actually couldn't believe this when I watched this the first time. Like this is legit, right? He actually got sacked for doing that. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. You know what? Obama used that sign. That Cortez lady uses it all the time. Why aren't they being canceled?
The other thing is, even you guys know who Storyman Jack is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually got
good guy.
His manager, but his manager actually, or his ex-manager now, literally tried to write him up because he put "I stand with Gina Carano" on his Twitter profile.
No way, really?
Yeah, but that manager got kicked out and he got to hire up to replace the management position at this point. So yeah, literally, he went to HR and complained about that because literally that manager tried to use his Twitter as a reason to write him up. I might be off on the facts, but that's how messed up this is.
Wow.
And he looks like he's flicking a cigarette. When I used to smoke,
it does.
That's exactly the same.
That's exactly how I did it too.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it now. You're going to cancel me?
Oh, I will cancel you right after the show. I just want to get my voice heard more.
I couldn't believe this. You know, even his thing about flicking a booger, like that's what I mean. Like to me, I didn't laugh when I first saw it. I didn't think it was that funny. But anyway, I thought this was ridiculous. I couldn't believe this.
Is this really who we want to become? A society of phony, clenched asshole avatars, walking on eggshells, always looking over your shoulder about getting ratted out for something that actually has nothing to do with your character or morals? Think about everything you've ever texted, emailed, searched for, tweeted, blogged, or said in passing, or now even just witnessed. Someone had a Confederate flag in their dorm room in 1990 and you didn't do anything? You laughed at a Woody Allen movie? Andy Warhol was wrong. In the future, everyone will not experience 15 minutes of fame, but 15 minutes of shame.
It's not funny.
And 62% of Americans say they have opinions they're afraid to share. 80% of Americans.
That's Gina's argument right there.
Yeah,
that's literally Gina's argument right there. This is the whole thing. Like, this is literally what she was saying, that it's the word weaponization of the people to be your army without having to fire one missile. And that was the relation she was doing. This is what he's saying right now. And how is it Bill Maher can get it, but other people can't?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the thing is Bill Maher doesn't really get it.
Timo.
Well, he's usually hiding in a tree, right? I've seen his videos during last year. Weirdo.
He's hitting around it, but a guy like Bill Maher is a person who hangs out with people, laughs with people, who all engage in this behavior. I think deep down Bill Maher's problem is that he's no longer in control of the cancel mob. People like him don't get to decide who gets canceled. It's other people.
They ride the wave and keep their mouth shut and do what they're told on the show.
But
this
guy
let me ask
he's
you
fine
this.
with canceling people as long as he gets to do it. It's
But
other people doing it.
let me
It's
ask
his
you this:
problem.
what if he was to get cancelled for doing this little bit of dialogue?
He won't.
He won't. He's protected by HBO.
He's protected by HBO, and he's got the right
Yeah, but
on the other policies.
But remember, he's also the guy who dropped the N-bomb on it live on his show too. So if he can get past that, he can get past this.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you have
But, okay,
Sean
but let me ask-
Penn's and your Alec Baldwins of the world drop gamer words regarding to gay people, and they get a slap on the wrist. They donate some money to the right cause, and off they go. No harm, no foul. His political ideology is his shield.
Okay, I understand that his politics is his shield, but even despite that, what if it started, like, what if there was hashtags now trending, fire Bill Maher? Like, wouldn't HBO then listen to the mob as well? No, because he's the left-leaning politically? Is that
no,
why?
because, well, yeah, it's for the same reason Pedro isn't fired, and the other people that we've all pointed out at Disney that have done far worse than Gina, including the people at Marvel Comics and all those people, they get away with it all the time. What's the common denominator? They have the right politics.
Money.
So it's they'll rail about cancel culture to some degree because then again they're not getting to decide anymore. It's a bunch of weirdos on Twitter, and I think that's what rubs them the wrong way more than the fact that people are getting canceled. Because previously they've been fine with people being canceled. Like you can point to the guy in the truck who got fired for a bullshit reason or things like that, but they were fine with other things like, oh, back in the 1990s, you supported a referendum that passed, which means the majority of the people in the state voted for it, but like you donated to the campaign, so you can't run, you can't work in the computer industry anymore. Fine with all that stuff because those people had the wrong politics. Gina has the wrong politics, therefore, it's not. That's why she gets the axe and the other people get to stay. They're just a little bit worried that they're losing control of the axe, and the axe might eventually end up inadvertently chopping one of them off.
I can agree. They kind of have lost the axis. The fact is the celebrities are finally realizing that the people do have more power, but they gave power to the wrong people, the psychopaths, the mentally ill, as Stick says. So now they're understanding that not only the consumers can wipe you out in a day, they can wipe you out to the soul. And they're now convoluted and stuck between a rock and in a mentally ill place. And they don't know how to do anything else but ride the wave.
It's people like Bill Maher that have been enabling it the whole time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So like when he comes out and does this little thing here, it's like, he's making a correct point, but I don't think he's being genuine about it.
But he doesn't care about it.
No.
Yeah.
Because he's been part of the problem.
Well, see, that's where the jokes start coming in too, especially when he does bring up Gina Carano, and we'll get there in just a sec. I'll push play in just a sec. But, even with the Gina Carano stuff, he talks about some bullshit planet that no one cares about and wear a helmet. Like,
that's just a rip on Star Wars nerds. That has nothing to do with Gina itself. That's just he's ripping on Star Wars nerddom.
Yeah, okay.
He's being the cool guy, just saying like, I don't give a fuck about Star Wars. I don't ever want to care about Star Wars. He's saying Star Wars is stupid.
Yeah.
That's not a hit on Gina Carano, Alderaan, or anything like that. It is just literally he's like, who cares? It's Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Let's get through this.
Rich, poor, conservative, liberal, white, minority, all hate the current atmosphere of hypersensitivity. Yeah, everybody hates it, and no one stands up to it.
Pause.
Because it's always the safe thing.
Here's the problem. Like, you can say 80% of people believe political correctness is a problem, but the problem is that half of those people will weaponize it if it suits their purpose.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, more than that.
If it gets rid of a boss, if it gets rid of a boss they don't like, or it gets rid of a competitor for a promotion. Like, we've all worked with these people in the workforce, right? The ones that are run to HR and everything, and what they're about is just like, you can
even use it to get rid of presidents.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people say it's a problem, but then again, they're participating in it, and they'll use it as a weapon when it suits their purpose.
Does anybody know which way Bill Burr leans? in regards to politically?
I think he duct tapes it to his right leg.
I'm pretty sure he's a centrist.
Okay.
I think he's probably.
He's the only one that's really come across as genuine to me.
If I had to guess, I would say he's somewhat fiscally conservative and socially liberal.
Right. Okay.
To swallow what you really think and just join the mob. So if someone asks you if Justin Timberlake owes Britney Spears an apology for not being a perfect boyfriend when they were teenagers, just say yes. Easy, as Justin did, issuing an abject apology and then vowing to return sexy back to where he found it.
They were funny.
Now, you may be asking, why are we even talking about this now? Well, the New York Times did a documentary about Britney Spears. Really, the New York Times. What do you see the searing expose they have coming
I
up?
just want to say there was a thing here on 60 Minutes, an interview with Britney Spears on 60 Minutes. It was last weekend. I didn't watch it, but I just saw the advertising for it, and it was just, it was cringe. Even the ads were cringe.
Didn't Bill Maher attack Trump for making jabs at the New York Times?
He's attacked everyone, I think.
Yeah,
he's attacked.
Because Trump was attacking the journalists from New York Times and CNN. Bill Maher had to go at him for that. Now he does it the same way.
Well, because now that he has to do it because the other person's not there for him to attack for doing it, right? So he's just going to use content.
Mm-hmm.
He's got in trouble, yeah.
Anyway, in it, we find out that teenage Justin hadn't become a perfect person yet. And when asked if he had sex with the girl whose big hit was called I'm a Slave for You, said yes. What a cat. Although I truly believe any guy willing to wear matching outfits can't be all bad.
Oh, God. I want to get the fedora for Trump.
As for a song called I'm a Slave for You, nothing? Is this some?
I agree with that, though. Like, he makes a good point with that little bit there. It's showing the hypocrisy of it all. Justin's got to come out and apologize, but Britney can go out there and shake her ass and put herself really out there. But the hypocrisy of it kills me. It really does.
The Mandalorian's Gina Carano is a person I'd never heard of and resent that I have now. She's some conservative wrestling chick who kicks.
Sound like you wanted to say something?
No, I'm breathing heavy because I don't like the next sentence that comes up.
Yeah.
Ass on a show I wouldn't watch if I was in prison. And she made some Nazi analogy. Who doesn't these days? You're like the Nazis is the new I don't like you. It's always okay when Trump's the Nazi. That disqualifies her from marching around planet who gives a shit in a helmet?
Wait, she doesn't wear a helmet.
By the way, you can't work in Hollywood if you don't believe what we believe. Yeah, in the 50s, that's exactly what the left complained they were being told.
Can you pause a bit?
Before it was Chris Harris.
The helmet comment, right?
Yeah.
He's having a dig at Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, he is.
For having done the same damn shit she did.
Yeah, he's literally saying the hypocrisy that he said all that crap and even used wrong pictures for a different country. And he's like, that's fine. Nothing to look here. Pedro.
Fucking Pedro.
Person's turn in the barrel. He's the host of The Bachelor and is stepping away. Stepping away.
That was Bill Maher's O's face.
Himself on a more profound and productive level than ever before. Oh, good.
I want to just pause it here. Like, I hate that quote. And that's something that I keep hearing more and more and more. I need to get educated.
That's code, Rhino, though.
I'm sorry, but like, I'm no white supremacist. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a fucking, I'm a normal human being that sees any other person as a person not based on their skin color. Like this here just shows the amount of segregation that they're actually that they still. It's almost like they still believe that there's segregation there because everyone's a fucking racist. But in doing what they're doing, they're creating segregation. They're putting everybody in these groups and saying, you know, if you're over this side, well, you are a Nazi, you are a fascist, you are a whatever.
You know what that quote means? The quote means, I just took a dildo up my ass.
I thought it was, I plan on taking lessons to be profoundly less caught in the future.
Yeah.
I am smiling now because I'm saying this now, but guess what? There's more skeletons in my closet. I'm just going to learn how to bury them deeper.
This is the other thing, too. I see people protecting their Twitter accounts and then deleting tweets and stuff like this. I think I watched one of Ryan's videos and he was pointing something out from someone. I can't remember exactly, but I just like fucking get over it, guys. Like no matter how big you get, how famous you get, whatever, fucking is sacrificing your integrity really worth it? Is sacrificing what you really believe really worth it? Like really? Is it really worth the buck?
Apologizing never works anyway.
Reno, I'm going to bring this back. It is worth the buck. When I brought up that Destiny guy, his name is Signal Rage. And it's been busted down that the only reason why I did is because he just got verified on Twitter. He just got a sponsor. He was always on the top page for Destiny on the Twitch page, like the homepage. And these people went after him with the weirdest things to get him canceled and made up narratives and stuff. Yes, it is even as low as going for that $1 for popularity, because when social platforms like this and the social recognition of becoming a online celebrity, people take that as a personality they have to be. They need to be that ego. They need to be that popular because that's the only way they can see the self-recognition in themselves through other people staring at them. For some reason, it's turned to a weird fetish now where if I'm not having everyone looking at me, I got to get rid of everyone else around me so they're only looking at me. And I will use whatever I can and whatever word I can.
You know what's happened, though? Back in, when we grew up, right? If you read someone's diary, they got pissed and, beat you up or whatever. And nowadays, they'll lose their minds if you don't read their diary.
Well, I don't want to. Stig, your diary is probably like top 5 things I wish I wrote in my other diary.
Yeah, there's only 5 pages in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Wait, there you go for the Teespring. You can have your own, your top 5 diary.
I mean, still though, people lose their minds if you don't care about their deep personal shit on social media.
Mm-hmm.
No, they lose their crap on you if you're just not interested. 20 years ago, they'd lose their crap if you were snooping in their private affairs.
I hope that's not true.
People weren't insane back then.
Oh, this one.
No, the one before it, it's like, I hope that's not true because that's hilarious if people are trying to relate the Amazon line to its smirk.
Yeah.
Hitler had a smirk? He never smiled.
He was in between the book burnings.
This is the thing, though. I mean, the thing that I like is all the virtue signaling as well that I just keep seeing going on. I mean, we had that thing from Oreo. I don't know if you guys saw it on
I love that.
Twitter.
Oh, I love that. Like, I believe in trans fat.
Like trans
people exist.
Trans people exist. I had to retweet it and say, and like what
sorry.
Go on.
You're a cookie. You have no self-awareness. Shut the up.
Yeah. And then you got Coca-Cola that do their fucking little fucking training day where we're going to educate our staff on, being less white. What the fuck does that even fucking mean?
Did you see the parody of that one where they that one Coke commercial where they had like the customized labels and stuff and they used to do the name campaign? So it was like this. Every time they're looking down the bottle, it's just, if you're getting canceled, just claim you're black. Or claim you're white, and then at the end, it has the 2 white kids, the 2 girls, just like giving the thumbs up, and I'm like, I like this commercial.
Yeah.
Someone, trans person, turned on Nina last week too because of that women's sport thing.
The head crush.
Yeah, and Nina said, needs to be a separate, thing for trans people, right?
There does.
And
if they're going to do it, there needs to.
A trans person that was born a man or whatever attacked her for it because Nina wouldn't know what it would be like to be a woman. So she couldn't have an opinion on women's sports.
I'm sorry to say, but effectively, the thing is if they were to make a separate thing for trans people to do sport or whatever in, as opposed to having a male basically in the women's sport, you're creating more segregation, in which case then you are being transphobic. You know what I mean? So they can't do that. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe that Amazon logo thing. That's fucked.
It's real. It's 3 hours ago.
No. Really? I don't know. I just want to finish this video. The cancel culture shit's fucked.
All my life, I've looked up to the host of the Fuck a Stranger show.
That's kind of funny.
I want to
that is.
Show.
And if I thought I couldn't
$400 at a strip club.
What's that?
That's a show, but it's called Waste $400 at a strip club.
Yeah.
No, it's literally basically what The Bachelor is. I mean, like, it's funny that these people take themselves so seriously on these shows. It's like, this is a reality show where literally it's you get to date like 20 people at the same time.
This guy
share the same STDs.
This guy looked offended when he said that too.
It's like, no one wants to have me on that show.
Yeah, no one wants to fuck me. I'm a stranger.
And if I thought I couldn't count on The Bachelor for moral guidance, I don't know if I could go on. And of course, he's not stepping away because he's the host of a televised snake pit where 32 female contestants are trapped in the sorority house from hell. It's because he wouldn't throw one of them under the bus when it came to light that in college he attended a dress up like we're in the old South party, which is not a type of party we should be throwing, in that it winks at a civilization built on slavery, yes. But apparently in 2018, millions of people were still doing it. And mature people understand humans are continually evolving, as opposed to Wokeville, where they're always shocked we didn't emerge enlightened from the primordial ooze. What's Chris Harrison supposed to do? Build a time machine, go back to 2018 and knock the mint juleps out of their hands? Maybe while he's time traveling, he can have a word with that asshole Abraham Lincoln, who's now canceled in San Francisco. And they're thinking about it in Illinois. Yes, the land of Lincoln might cancel Lincoln.
People in Illinois think.
What
nearly
they're
done.
doing sounds like an Onion headline.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what Bill Maher had to say about that. I personally, I kind of see now, after what you guys are sort of saying about Bill Maher, it does come across as really disingenuous. But
yeah, he's not a hero against cancel culture.
He's a hero for Viagra. That's about it.
Yeah, he's not. I would not consider him an ally. He is making a good point here, but I don't know if he really believes it.
Yeah.
Or more that he's just annoyed that he has to cover it. Like, that seemed to be like more his sentiments, is like, now I gotta fucking care about this stupid Bachelor show that I hate and stupid Star Wars that I hate. Like, he was annoyed by it more than like the cancel culture itself.
Yeah.
Because like, for the last 4 years, I didn't hear him decrying everybody calling one side of the aisle a Nazi. But he mentioned it in that clip, right? He's like, everybody gets. He mentioned it, but where's he been for the last 4 years on that particular issue?
He's been trying to cancel everyone who worked for Trump and Trump's family, and yeah.
We've got another guest, so we're just going to cut to a quick commercial break.
I'm going to change my avatar.
Go for it. One from last week for you guys.
Mom, can I have a popsicle?
No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey, parents, tired of those out-of-control kids throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go? At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing Nap Time, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to Nap Time. It's never been so quiet around here.
The secret lies in Naptime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, Naptime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! Naptime works in any situation. On the golf course. Awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
Why do I get the feeling more?
Child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to Nap Time, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of Naptime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more. Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't breathe good.
So if this looks familiar...
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait. Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying,
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time. Thanks, Nap Time.
Nap Time, when they just won't shut up. Nap Time is not legal in the following states.
This one is going on my channel.
You know what's funny too is you can actually buy it in bulk off Amazon, and you don't need a license.
I'm convinced that's a real product. I'm convinced Rhino's show is sponsored by it.
Do you guys like my new avatar? I think it's very, very evil.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for coming, ancient German man.
I did not see that at first.
You see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
G'day, Jeff. How are you today?
I'm doing.
Morning. Is it still morning for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 9:30. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks for coming by. Have you been watching the show at all, or
I've seen that video before, and I heard what you guys were saying about it, and I absolutely agree with you 100%. Especially with Fat Steven. Like, where were you those years people were canceling Trump and calling him those words? Like, where were you that?
He was high-fiving Pedro.
Correct. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. It was very disingenuous. He didn't seem like he gave a shit about it at all. Like at all.
I think when he sits there in the chair and does that whole skit,
shtick.
I think he has someone on the producer behind the camera who's just slowly turning up the vibrator in his ass, so he starts looking like he's having a good time. And as soon as it hits like 10, he's like, "And that was my final thought." Oh,
I better get angry. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hello, Lady Tariel, my newest patron. Thank you.
So sorry I said that when she came in. Oh my god. Don't cancel me.
Oh, that's don't worry. Toriel knows the drill.
Yeah. Dude in the...
Dude, it looks like... But back, I wanted to add something quickly. Like the whole thing with the Nina thing, right? I'm not trying to sound like disingenuous, but when you have people that are smashing in people's heads in sports 3 or 4 times, make a new league.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
You're not going to... No, that bothered me so much when I saw that article.
It's not just that. I saw some... I don't know how to refer to a trans person, but it was a guy that transitioned to a woman, and he's playing in girls basketball, and he's got like, 2 feet on these girls.
It looked like the Seinfeld episode where Kramer joins the karate team, and it's a bunch of kids.
It looked like Captain Planet went transgender.
Did you guys see that photo?
Yeah.
And like even with the Fuller, what's her name? Something Fuller, and she did that kick for the. I understand that there was COVID stuff going on, but she did a couple of kickoffs for some NFL games.
Oh, yeah, she was. That I would not call those kickoffs at all or kicks.
No,
no,
man. That's when she came out after the second half. Like, I'm sorry, but for something that's supposed to be for women empowerment, that was women embarrassment. That whole clip proves why they should be in separate leagues.
You remember when they used to?
If women want to play football, if women want to play basketball, there is nothing fucking wrong with that, right? But they play against other women.
Rhino, stop. You are dead wrong. I got to stop you there. In the NFL, there has never been a kicker who was a real man, ever.
That's not true.
All kickers.
That's not true. The
weenies.
Miami Dolphin actually could do a good kick.
That's
the
not
actual
a
dolphin,
man.
yeah.
That's a dolphin.
That's not a kicker. That's a flipper.
But all field goal kickers, place kickers, and punters are sad little weenie men.
Are we talking about soccer?
Anthony Rocker was I think he was a punter for some NFL team. He's an Aussie guy. He played Aussie rules football, and he could kick the fucking shit out of the ball.
Do you remember back in the day where people used to make like the whole does she have like a wang, and we were talking about China from WWF? Remember back in those days? And now we're actually getting things that are the reverse of that joke, but they're actually doing damage.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point now, like I understand everyone wants to be their genuine self and find their genuine self, but you gotta have to understand that with that choice, there's gonna become people who are going to want. That's exactly it. Right, it's exactly Roger Predactor found Captain Winky.
I need to pop off because I'm, bedtime. I'm getting really tired.
No worries, Stig.
I'm up for 20 hours.
Oh yeah, you've been up for a while, man.
Thank you for coming by, Stig. Appreciate you.
Always fun to be on, and thank you to the chat and the other panelists for being good company.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. Everyone, please go and subscribe to Stig's channel. He put out a couple of clips from some improvs that he did on Shenanigans. So go and watch those. They're actually quite funny. So please go and watch those. And we've got to get him to that next 50 mark so that he can put out another top 5. So please.
I just put out the improvs. They should cancel out the top 5.
No, that doesn't work that way, Stig.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I'll do a top 2 then.
Well, that's number I'll be on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, number 37.
Yeah,
top 5 football kicks. There you go, Stig. Right there. Just put 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Stig. Thank you for coming by, mate.
Take care and be well.
You too. Bye, bye.
Hey, on that.
Good morning. Good morning, nerds.
On that subject of the whole trans issue, my biggest problem with it is like we can't even discuss like reasonable boundaries or like scenarios to be like, okay, at what point can one officially be considered to compete in this sport? Do they have to be a certain size? Because, I mean, I guess there are small enough men that would transition that it would be competitive in a women's league, and they wouldn't necessarily dominate. But even if you try and even bring up or discuss any kind of boundaries or guidelines for such a thing, you're immediately accused of being transphobic and that you're denying that they exist. Like, that's the whole Oreo thing, is like, they exist. I didn't say they didn't, but that's not the issue.
Yeah, but if you want to...
Let's get to the realities of it. Can a 14-year-old kid say one day that he's a lady to go into the ladies' locker room and look at the girls, and then the next day change his mind?
Damn,
what are the guidelines?
Yep.
I was just thinking the same thing. Why didn't I think of that?
Yep.
But I agree with you.
Fucking brilliant.
But at the same time, they want to be recognized as whatever they choose, right? But with that, guess what? Even if you were still a normal, whatever, boy, girl, dear girl, I keep bringing up that Twitch thing because it's funny. you still had leagues for the different sexes, right? So
Yeah.
why is it so abnormal to have a different league for transgender? That way, you're on the same playing field, you're still recognized, and it's still you getting to play the sport you want to play. You don't get to say you're this, then expect to get all the same things of that just because
But
you
see,
say it. It's like
okay.
saying I'm a rabbit. Now
Hold
I
on.
want Jessica Rabbit to show up.
But this is how ridiculous the whole concept of making a separate league for trans people is.
But it's fair.
No.
Well, there's not enough of them, for one.
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You've got men that have transitioned to women, and you've got women that have transitioned to men. So what? Do they go in the same league? You've still got men fighting women at the end of the day.
No, they would have to make the leagues according to each. This is just an idea. I'm not saying they have
No,
to
no,
do it.
I know.
But they
I
have
get
to
it.
accept the fact that even if they choose to go down a road to find their inner self or their true self, they can't expect the same type of things. They're going to either have to accept that something else or a different sports style league is going to come on that's going to work for all of them, or they're going to accept there's going to be people who are going to be against it and not take it as being phobic. They never said, no, you can't play in the sport. But if you're going to bash in my skull, hey, I have a problem with that because you know what? I don't need to see blood during football. I don't need to see you break a baseball bat so hard that you took out the catcher and now they're trying to find their tit that is now at first base. I don't want to see that. This is a reference. Like, you got to remember, you want to get the respect. You always have to give a little to get a little. That's the way life goes. That's the way I see it. And I'm not trying to be disassociative. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You cannot always want everything and not give anything back. You have to give in to get something.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the issue. Like, but we can't even discuss these things. That like separate leagues, different leagues. Now, I have a very, very radical solution to the whole problem, and I think it's something that maybe like Lethal Lightning would endorse. But just
it's radical, then.
I don't want to see you in a dress. I really don't.
One league, no gender separation. If you're not good enough to compete against the men, then you don't get to play sports. One league.
Yep.
Anybody can join from any gender, all 72 of them or however many there are now. Everybody can play in the one league if you're good enough. Which would effectively eliminate almost every women's sport, which is fine with me because nobody watches them anyway.
I think they should all go into that league or the lingerie league and see how that works. You remember that, the old lingerie football?
Yes,
I want to
I
see
do.
them on that. Because then people will get a perspective of, like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would still be funny as hell. And I'm not... I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Like, why is there a lingerie league losing viewers?
Well, okay, let me just say something quickly. We've got our AFL, which is Australian rules football. It's different to rugby to everybody out there. And there's also a women's league that they've just brought in, the official AFL Women's League. Now, I was just flicking through the TV. I think it was not last weekend, the weekend before. I was flicking through the TV, and the women's footy has started. They sort of start late in the summer and then move into winter, and then the men's start. It was half time. Now, normally in a normal men's game, around half time, you can sometimes have a score around maybe 25 to, like, one team's got 25 points, the other team's got maybe 35 points. So you can sometimes get a halftime score like that. But sometimes you get a halftime score and it's like 50 to 60. Like, it can be that high in the scoring. Halftime in this women's game was 3-0. And yes, look what I'm doing. And I'm actually saying 0. You're going to cancel me now for flicking a booger?
Yeah.
I think 0 is very racist. Hashtag 0 is racist. Mathematics are racist.
Yeah. So, like, again, you know, if they want to play in their own league, that's fine. It doesn't entertain me. I can't watch the women's footy. The skills are just... Ugh.
There's not enough kissing.
But the scoring's bad. Like, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. But I couldn't imagine. But this is how I see it for a lot of people too. And fucking, I don't care anymore. If you're going to cancel me, you're going to cancel me. But I feel like there are some people out there that become trans and go through the whole thing because the dude couldn't make it in the men's sport. He's very passionate about playing that sport. And Now he's just moving over to being a woman so that he can actually compete and dominate and be the best player or whatever. Could you imagine a trans male that's converted to a woman getting like an MVP of the women's league? Whoa.
But some people are that shallow. Some people need to feel accomplished. And it can also still stem. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but it can also stem back to the whole thing. Working hard and never succeeding, and you think you deserve that succession. So you're willing to not only chop off your nuts or grow a pair just to get that trophy. And it falls into that whole participation trophy thing. It's like that mentality. If I don't get the trophy, I don't get that medal, I haven't accomplished because it doesn't go against what I've been raised to believe. And I'm not saying that's with all transgender, so please don't cancel me. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to say that there are people out there that do that. And it sucks because the ones that are actually wanting just to play the sport as who they see themselves as are being pushed in the back. It's a layered cake of nonsense.
I don't think anybody's saying that there aren't legitimately transgender people who just want to compete in a sport in the gender that they're assigned.
Yeah.
The issue, though, is that, are there going to be people that are going to take advantage of it and abuse it at the expense of real trans people and women?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem is especially when you're looking at like high school sports, right? There's only so many people that can make the team. Like a basketball team consists of what? 10 people, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll say, there's five people on the court. We'll say 5 on the bench. We'll just say officially 10.
10,
so
yeah.
10 people can make the high school team. Well, when you're the 11th person, like you don't necessarily have to dominate. A trans person who has transitioned from male to female doesn't have to dominate the league to still make an impact, because he's still, by making the team, he's still taking that 10th spot away from another girl. And that's
somebody's worked their ass off possibly their whole life to get there.
Well, right. They're not going to be a starter on the team, but they're good enough that without that other person, they would have made the team. And is that fair to her? So even if they transition and don't dominate, let's say they don't have like an extra foot or
Extra foot. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking something else. My bad.
An extra foot of height.
3 feet.
Height.
I'm so sorry. I weird. From one end, some of the. Why does he have to? I'm so sorry.
That was pretty funny.
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
What? An extra fucking foot?
I forgot his height. Oh my god! I actually just pictured like 2 feet, and they messed up, and there's a 3rd foot between their legs.
I'm so sorry. That's so funny. Oh, that's so good.
Oh god, I'm done. It was nice seeing everyone on YouTube. Y'all have a great day. I'm out, bitches.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, oh my god, I think
that would be an advantage, I think, in a lot of sports. But anyway, you don't have to. They don't have to dominate the sport to still take a spot away from somebody on the roster.
Yeah,
that otherwise would have been on the roster.
Correct.
So even if they're like the 6th best person on the team, they wouldn't have even. I mean, let's be honest. Like in most high schools, the 15th best basketball player in the school on the male side would absolutely make almost every single female or every single basketball team on the female side.
Yeah.
I mean, let's being realistic, because there is that size advantage, just height alone.
I want to bring up this Fallon Fox because I actually looked into this. There was I was watching Joe Rogan and he was actually talking about this and how pissed he actually got about this. This chick, or this dude, became a chick and fought in the UFC without even actually telling anyone that he was a she. Like, and was absolutely beating the crap out of these women, these, genetically born women. Like, I just could not believe that I was what I was seeing and how that was actually okay. And even after the fact that it came out, was it still okay? I don't actually know what happened after it actually got found out. But the fact that he, she, I don't know how to refer to this person. They didn't say anything to anyone about it and just went in there and fought. That's horrible. Horrible.
It was
sorry, just quickly, Stephen. I've got a new guest. I don't have any more ads to play. I didn't have enough.
I gave you one.
Did you?
It's in the private chat, and it's called Sticky Buddy.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. I'm not going to bring that person in. I'm going to play the ad.
Okay.
We're going to play one of Steven Seagal's ads.
I'm going to go find one of my extra feet. I'll be right back.
No worries. I did actually see this one. Oh, here we go. I did see it, but I didn't watch it. I saw it when I was searching. Anyway, commercial break, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't see you there. Me and my buddy here have been expecting you. My sticky buddy, Sully here with the... Oh, excuse me, I've got some pussy hair on me. Check that shit out. It's a sticky roller designed to clean up any mess. Poodles, pussies, people, you name it. Use it as a back scratcher. You can rinse it off, dry it off, jerk it off. I don't care what you do with it or where the hair even came from. Silks, suedes, swag. Ladies, I don't care how smelly or hairy your carpets are. My rubber fingers get in there deep. Just rinse it off, wipe it off. Oh, there we are. Do all kinds of shit with it. Aren't you tired of ripping your hair out because you're trying to drive and the kids are making a fucking mess? You'll be making so much money, it pays itself off. Ooh, precious food. That's good. Thanks, buddy. Everybody has an evil cat or an annoying dog. Use it to groom them or even yourself.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
Normally a shake is $20, but a sticky buddy is only $10.99. You'll also get a cover. You gotta use protection. Even if it's a quickie, wrap that sticky. Stop rolling up your money. Lint rollers. The fuck is wrong with you? Check out the suggestively sized sticky buddy. You're gonna want to stroke it, but not too much. It'll make a mess. Hide it in your purse. 007. Leave it somewhere as a pleasant surprise. And like I said before, I have magic rubber fingers that get deep into your hairy cracks. Get some buddies for just $10.99. But wait, there's more. If you have jumbo-sized pubes, we got a jumbo-sized sticky bunny. Who let Spider-Man in the house? The cat's flipping turds everywhere. Who keeps flicking their boogers under the bed? But you know what? The hair that you find is yours to do with as you please. Why not make a toupee or break out the turbo snake? All of these guys will be your buddies with their rubber fingers for just $10.99. That's free shipping. Now get out of my house. Isn't that right, Mr. Wuss Wuss?
That was great.
Yeah, I love that. That was fucking great.
That was really good.
I got magical rubber fingers.
Oh man, that was so good. Thank you for sharing that one.
Yes,
brilliant.
Thank you.
And hello, Tim. Open airlock.
Damn it,
How are you?
Fat Steven. When Rhino says he doesn't have any commercials left, you say "thank fuck for that" and you move on.
Actually, I'd like to contribute to this show because I'm not getting canceled right now on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great. I love that.
That was
Tim,
great.
Tim, do you want my magical rubber fingers that get deep in your hairy cracks?
No.
That was great.
Good. That was good. Yeah, that was good, man. Thank you for that, Steven.
All right. Well, how are you, Tim?
Oh, great. How are you guys?
Very, very well.
We're talking about transsexual MMA fighters.
We were. It sort of evolved from the cancel culture stuff. Now, I do want to watch this last clip because I think this is probably the one where we're getting the most out of Bill Burr in regards to what he thinks and what he's saying about cancel culture. And what he does say comes across as genuine as opposed to Bill Maher. That came across as disingenuous. So I just want to play at least a little bit of this. And
You know what I want to say really quick about Bill Burr is his accent is like the northeast version of what people think of like people from the South with a really thick accent. He has like the thickest New Englander accent there is. It's amazing.
for me, it's funny. Like I can hear differences in American accents, but like there is that generic sort of American accent that I think a couple of the different they kind of sound very similar to each other. So I don't really pick up on it so much.
Mhm.
You know, if I hear a Southern accent compared to
Yeah,
how
that conversation between Bill Burr and his former commanding officer, right? You can tell the difference there.
Oh yeah, massively, massively. The ex-Imperials went from being sort of British to
Song of the South,
Southern?
white males. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Fat Steven, what were you going to
Well,
say?
I wanted to say before you played this, for people in the chat, if you haven't seen this, ignore the guy on the bottom. He does not get it, and he's explaining the story in a way that makes you wish you just got your head crushed by a UFC fighter who looks like Xena or China.
Yeah, he's not. He
It's that
doesn't.
bad.
And I will say too, I've heard some Bill Burr on this one, and he did another thing, and they're talking about the post that she did, and he says, I think multiple times that he doesn't agree with what she did, and I think that even if he did, he wasn't going to say it.
No, he would. No, of course not.
No, no fucking way. So I don't believe for a second that he doesn't understand what she's
Hey
trying to say.
OG, how you doing?
Hey Laura.
Thanks for coming by. All right, let's play this. I completely agree. The guy on the bottom, sort of ignore him. It's more basic. I really just concentrate on what Bill Burr is saying in this. Anyway, let's start.
Still, I keep saying, I was saying it the other day about Gina Carraro or whatever her name is. It's like, look, you can say that her tweet was stupid or clumsy or whatever, but the reaction to it to me was so crazy that I was like, guys, this is going to be a thing that you look back on. And the example for that is everybody said George W. Bush was.
This guy looks like a bit like Ben Affleck. I was just going to
Is
say.
the guy on the bottom in his closet?
No, I think
Is
it's
his wife like, you can't do that in the house? Go in the closet.
It kind of
Get the
looks
fucking
like his
closet.
hair is trying to secede his head. You notice that? How
It really does. Yeah, they're like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to be attached to this stupidity.
His hair's like,
Whereas
I'm
gonna
out of
go
here.
to-
Fuck this.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go to your ass. I'm gonna
It's just
grow
taking
there
20
from
years.
now
I'm
on.
almost gone.
Stop bold shaming, Fat Steven. You're going to get canceled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe Rogaine yourself.
It does look like he's in his closet. Like there's tubs and stuff hanging.
Yeah, it's
out.
like one of those walk-ins. Yeah.
He's in the closet
wife's
where
like-
the cat litter is.
Yeah, his wife's like, get the fuck in there, ugly bastard.
Was the
You
devil.
sick
If
bastard.
you in any way supported him or liked him or whatever, you were the devil. There was something wrong with you. You were a racist. You were this. You were that. That fucking guy is on the talk show circuit now. He goes on
Maher?
Kimmel, kicks back, and he gets applause breaks. And everybody goes, he's kind of cute. Remember how dumb he was? Whatever. And they're going to be doing that with half of these canceled people and going, shit, man, sorry about that. Sorry about the last 8.
Sorry, I just want to quickly say I heard that Steph, My Nerdy Home, finally got monetized. While we're live, I just wanted to say congratulations, Steph. It's been a long time coming. I feel like we had a lot to do with that in regards to our massive outro on the high ground. So you're welcome. And honestly, you really deserve it.
Oh yeah.
And start putting all your videos as monetized, and I'll hit play all, and you'll get some ad revenue from all the things.
Moral of the
for
story:
50
get a
bucks.
5-foot bed.
I'll do it for 50
Yeah,
bucks.
she's loving that bed at the moment. She was talking about it earlier in the chat. She's so comfy.
I don't know if you saw earlier either, Rhino, but herself and Steph and myself became a patron of yours now. So.
Oh, thank you.
So you can get a 5-foot bed too.
There you go.
Everyone, I know that there's been a few tonight, and I thank you all. I will actually check that out before we end the stream because I wrote
Don't
down the
dox
one
me.
I had, but now I need to. That's all right, Thomas. I won't. No, that was a joke. Nobody actually laughed. All right, let's continue. That was just shit.
It's like a guy in jail for marijuana sales right now in LA. You know what I
I
mean?
just saw Pee Wee
He's
Herman
like,
on the
"You
Wheel of
motherfuckers."
Fortune.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They ruined Pee Wee, dude.
And he was
ruined
jerking
him.
off where you're supposed to jerk off.
His favorite team's
Was he
Lexos.
offending those other fucking people jerking off?
Remember that
Those local
that
cops.
mugshot?
Those local cops saw a big score. That's what they saw.
No, it was one closeted police chief. He's like,
these guys are getting away watching gay porn and jerking off. We're not allowed to do this. We're busting them every Friday night.
Dude, I thought he was going to get out of it because he went on the MTV Music Awards right
I
after.
thought they always
and
had
a
this
great
lined up.
opening line. He came out. He's like,
I will say really quickly, the points they're making actually make sense. Like, they bring up some really good points about people being canceled in the past, and eventually they kind of come back. Like George Bush, like they were saying, you supported him at all for those terms he was in. You were evil because you supported George Bush. But now he goes on the talk show circuits with the left wing, hosts, and people laughing, and they're laughing at his jokes and giggling with him and stuff. It's like, I guess we forgot. So
I only support the pretzel that he almost choked on and the shoe that was thrown at him. Those are the only two things I support.
Good reflexes, Mr. Bush.
Yeah.
Chew.
I
know,
and
right?
Greg, you've got to
Just
jump
good
out,
points.
mate. You may as well jump out now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No
Sorry.
worries.
I'm starving. I need to get some breakfast.
I understand. I
He's getting ready for
absolutely
Starbucks,
understand. Well, look, thank you for coming by. Any final words on anything that we've talked about, or anything that you want to tell people?
About this Bill Burr thing, because I've seen the video already. I will say it's like it again. It's a little weak. I think like like by the end of it is like, oh yeah, it really sucks, but I work for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm not ready to champion him as a hero of decrying cancel culture.
Yeah.
Just like he's playing it really, really safe. He lets the other people do most of the talking, and like he just kind of agrees with them for a lot of it. And like I genuinely believe that he probably does think cancel culture sucks.
Oh yeah.
But like I see him bending the knee. I don't see him not bending the knee here.
I see him getting booted.
Yeah.
Next, though.
And see, you're forgetting though, he might have an NDA and he can't.
And he might, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But in the same token,
He's
this
not
is what I was.
disclosing anything. It might be a non-disparage, but maybe.
But this is sort of what I was talking about, that snowball at the top of the mountain. Like, if Gina's the only one that's going to stand up to this, then it's just going to fall down flat. Nothing's going to eventuate. We need more. Like, I understand that there is just the normal person out there that can be cancelled for putting his hand out the window to flick a booger and fucking apparently is a white supremacist. But in saying that, if no one stands up, if everyone just still plays the fear card, I mean, we're being controlled by fear right now. We're being controlled by fear of speaking out and actually giving our true thoughts and feelings. And, some things are just a joke. Comedians, I would hate to be a comedian in this day and age. I really would hate to be a comedian. It would be the worst job to have, because every joke that you come up with that has any sort of substance that would get a decent laugh out of a crowd these days, you can't tell.
Yeah, you can't.
Anyway.
Well, no, and that's why most stand-up comics are just, overly crude and vulgar, and it's just sex jokes now. And it's just,
I beg to differ. I'm going to beg to differ. The man that's in the video with him, Burr Kreischer, is not just about that. He actually talks about his family. He has a great podcast. It's called Two Bears, One Cave, and it's with Tom Segura. Those two comics, they're all in the same circle, right? Just watch I Am the Machine special. You can find it on YouTube. He is definitely not like this. Okay. He hangs out with Rogan and all of them, Gilbert Gottfried, and he's not like that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be exceptions, but I think if you look at the bulk of the comedy specials and everything out there, it's leaning more that direction, a little bit safer. Because cancel culture is real, and they're playing it safe. What's going to end it is going to be some of these, and it's going to have to be some main stars that are just going to be like, well, if that's the case, I'm walking.
Are you sure it's walking, or they don't want to sacrifice? Because I know they do a lot of specials with Netflix, so it could be not just the Disney thing. It could be all of them not wanting to have their providing for their family taken in a heartbeat.
Right, well, that's what I mean. It's going to take the main stars of some of these shows. It's going to take a person like Favreau going, well, then I'm walking. Like, I got enough money to live on the rest of my life. I'm out of here if this is going to be the way you're going to operate.
Yeah, but guys, like I said in my video last week, it doesn't matter what happens to Gina Carano or Bill Burr. They're like millionaires. People are being affected by this all across the country that would not survive 6 months if they were let go from their job and canceled. They just wouldn't. Because what are they going to do? Move to Maine and try to find a job there? This is the information age where what you do carries everywhere. So I'm more worried about the common, I don't even want to say the common man. That sounds a little too Marxist, but I mean just everyday people that don't have, millions they can live on for the rest of their life. It's like, and 2 actors aren't going to change it. It's going to take 70% of the country at the same time standing up against it, and you're never going to see that, and that's why it's the end of society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
we're going to lose.
Pervasive. Especially now, like you had the convenient thing where basically where it doesn't exist primarily is in your small businesses, because the small businesses don't have offices of diversity and inclusion and big HR departments and things like that where all this stuff comes from in your workplace. But a lot of those people went away, and the big corporations, all did very, very well during the pandemic. So, and they're the ones that are pushing it the most.
And this Coke thing,
it's most prevalent. Yeah, Coke.
Everyone's talking about this. That's not a big thing. This is in a lot of companies. You just don't know about it, and they may not be so.
I've attended shit like that. 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it's not so on the nose, but they're using Marxist terms like equity versus equality. This is ingrained in almost every Fortune 500 company. So everyone's like, "Oh no, fuck Coke, fuck every company you buy from. You can't get away from it. You can't boycott everyone."
Nope.
We're gonna end up stop eating food. We're gonna stop drinking drinks. We're gonna
right. Yeah.
Wait. Does that mean we could start growing our own non-woke food? Like how they like whole grain? Like what is it?
Yeah.
Non-woke Coke.
Instead of calling yourself vegan, you can call yourself woken.
Woken.
Hey, I'm ready to move the Galt's Gulch anytime.
Well, yeah, it's making your own comics and books, make your own food, and sell it on Twitter. Do an Indiegogo, for like food.
That's 100% grain.
But hey, I got it. The Farm to Menace. How about that?
There you go.
You're using Uber Eats and you're asking for the non-woke Happy Meal. Please, no propaganda.
With that, I'm going to bail.
Yeah, thank you.
Later, Greg. Later, Greg.
He's better get some food.
Greg.
Later, Greg. Thank you.
Double dim ass on you.
Hey. Well, that's really
awesome. Now I hope that this sort of starts to really get into it. I thought I had it at the right spot. I'm pretty sure it's here, so we'll continue on.
Applauding him.
Yeah.
He was like, heard any good jokes lately? And everybody died laughing, and I was psyched. I'm like, he's back, and then
no,
that was it.
Remember Dice? I didn't even like Pee Wee till I knew he jerked off.
Dice was awesome, dude.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh shit,
It's
boys.
a weird time. I don't know. I kind of
Here we go.
I have unless you did some truly horrible shit. I mean,
if you hurt someone, I don't have time for you. But if we're talking about words, like even bad words, I'm like, come on, man. I mean,
no, I wouldn't say that. No, if you're just saying overtly racist shit, yeah.
Oh, no,
if you make like a bad comparison,
yeah.
If you come off like Joe trying to find where Atlanta is compared to New York.
Now the thing is he referencing like obviously he sort of references I think in this a little bit of what Pedro said as opposed to what Gina said. Now he refers to what Gina said as maybe I think he's referring to her when he says a bad reference.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, I honestly don't think that reference is actually that bad. I hate the idea of using the Holocaust or whatever because in this day and age, everyone's a fucking Nazi. You know, I mean, he even mentions that I think in this video, but like everyone, it's like Nazi is now the hater. You're just a fucking hater. Now you're just a Nazi. You're a fascist Nazi. Right,
they've taken the word meaning and destroyed it.
And destroyed it. That's right.
You're a dinglebat now. That's pretty much the power of it.
Did all you guys see that teacher that filmed himself while he was asking his students? Helen Keller and all of that. Jeez. Man, that blew my mind when I saw that. Like, I'm truly shocked. I'm an Australian. Even if I hadn't have watched the movie Pearl Harbor. Mm-hmm. I know what Pearl Harbor is.
I know because you paid attention for 5 seconds.
I know what happened. I left school when I was 14 years old, right? And I still know my history. They get asked, what would you say if I said D-Day? Who's that? A rapper? Like, oh my God, seriously? This is a historical event that changed the world.
Mm-hmm. It's a very commonly used history teaching. It's pretty much everyone goes through World War I, then they go through World War II. At least that's what I remember. You're taught the basics of history and then how wars progressed.
Yeah.
These two affected, because that's what it's called a world war, because it affected a large part of the world. Everyone participated. And that's why it's a common ground to use as a comparison. It's not that you're using, you're like accusing and naming this side or these people are those people. It's saying that the tactics and the types of warfare that was used, whether it be actual weapons, words, manipulation of the mind, are being used again. It's using history. That's why it's called history. History is there for us to learn from our mistakes, progress, and not repeat it. And these people are going out of the way to disacknowledge that fact and just say, well, you're just this. I'm like, no, this is a history lesson. If you don't know your history, then you should shut your mouth and read up on it before you accuse someone of doing this, and this.
It takes apart their narrative.
Yeah, they don't. But that's it. They don't like logic. They don't like fact. They block you. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
If the logic and fact doesn't meet their narrative because they don't want to believe that they're wrong, which goes back to the whole thing of never hearing the word no, that's what happens. And I forgot I'm still talking as an Amazon package, so I have a little bit more say right now.
So, Fat Steven, you're a Canuckian, right?
Oh God, I'm Canadian. Yes.
Yeah.
But I also half my mom's side is also from Germany.
So, like here in the States, usually, and you can disagree with me, Jeff, but usually, like freshman year, you'll do world history. The next year, U.S. history, and then U.S. and government. The last 2 years of high school. That's generally how we do it. So you go through the whole thing. You know.
Yeah. Very
like how the country was founded, like who came over, the settlers, what.
And then all the way back to the Roman times, you know, in the world history part of it, Western civilization.
I was asleep during that.
So, yeah.
But when you hear World War II, you automatically, like, besides thinking Indiana Jones, you automatically can assume what it meant atrocities. It meant horror. It meant bodies in ditches being burnt every day, gas camps. It meant all that stuff. That's the whole representation of the history and how bad it was. It wasn't about, oh, you were Jewish? Then how did you feel about World War II? I wasn't born yet. It don't matter about that. It's the whole, you're not getting it.
This is the thing. Like, it's almost like, yes, we understand that what happened back then was bad. We understand that even the history of the United States, there are some bad things that happened back in the day, right? With slavery and all of that sort of thing. It's bad. It doesn't mean we delete it. It doesn't mean we remove it. It means we learn from it. We move forward. And this is what I hate at the moment, is what I referred to earlier. There's so much now segregation within these groups. I mean, you just go to Gina Carano's interview with Ben Shapiro, and she talks about how the guys at Lucasfilm wanted her to talk to the trans section of the LGBTQ community. Right? We are now segregating the segregated fucking thing. And all the LGBTQ people wanted to just be seen as normal fucking people and just be able to interact with normal fucking people and just be normal fucking people.
But to add to that, Rhino, do you remember that from that interview? Because we covered it the day it came out. Like I did a stream about it. But what Gina said within that interview is great, especially when she was doing the one interview, when she's like, "Can you take your glasses off, please?" And she was like, "Why?" "So I can look you in the eye as a human being." You can't get more grounded than that. And if you can't see that the normalcy of respect there, you do not belong around people who have opposite opinions.
Yep. And she references the eye contact thing so many times throughout that interview.
Especially being a fighter.
Yeah. But see, not only that, like, to be able to, like, we talk about Twitter and we talk about the mob on Twitter and everything. No one's looking anyone in the eye. They're all hidden behind their keyboards. And it's easy for me to come out and say you're a fucking Nazi on Twitter. I know you can't say that, but, like, it's easy to do that from behind a keyboard. You look at somebody in their eyes and tell them that, they'll probably knock you out.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why it's grown so crazy since like the lockdowns and everything, because everyone is trapped behind a keyboard. So they're taking out all the crap that's going on, but they're increasing. And the psychos are getting a voice, and the psychos are just psychos.
But the psychos are now massively emboldened to continue their fight for canceling anyone for stupid reasons. Like, you know, I look at the Rosario Dawson thing and fuck, not one person who has actually done an article or anything has referenced the fact that the charges were dropped.
Nope.
There's 2 charges that are still going, but none of them have to do with anything to do with the trans, misgendering, any of that shit, right? And it's that whole thing. It takes me to the thing with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Let's just believe. Let's just believe. I cannot believe that the court actually found Johnny Depp guilty of whatever it was.
I'm going to say right now, honestly, this stems from it, and you can hate me in the chat for this, but when that Believe All Women, then that fucking shit came out, that was a downfall within itself. Because you know what? It's not Believe All Me. It should never have been Believe All Women. What it should have been is Believe All Truth.
Yes.
That means you have to look for the facts. You have to look for the logic. Believe All Women was a scapegoat for any woman to go out there and cancel anyone they goddamn wanted. And I'm not trying to
that's
dismissive.
No, I'm with you 100%.
No, but I'm saying this in the chat because there's going to always be disagreements. And I'm not trying to be dismissive of women have probably been attacked, but so have men. And look at Johnny right now. Johnny is in his own predicament, saying that he was on the other end of the abuse stick. I have been in an abusive relationship with a woman who literally was, 6 years of I love you, but I don't respect you. And constant, all that stuff. It builds up. It happens everywhere. Dude, you have no idea. But like you do. You can't classify one sex as more believable than another. The same way you cannot make history not relevant until it associates what you want to say. It does not work like that. That's not reality.
I also look at it. I look at the what was it called? It's only something that's in the States. We don't have it here. The Aunt Jemima thing. Right? Like, oh my God, you want to?
Your stuttering makes it. Yeah.
Saying this right? I don't know if I'm saying this right, but that is a good virtue signal. I don't know if that's the right way to sort of say it or whatever.
They destroyed a black woman's legacy, pretty much.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly what they did.
Same with the butter.
And then there was another product I think you guys had over in the States that with some black guy on the
Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben's rice.
Right now they're in a love hotel going. They took us off the boxes.
Yeah. Hello, Anna. It's been a long time.
Hey, Anna.
Thank you for coming by. I'm gonna have to get you on sometime soon.
I'm sorry, Anna, but you do a great show. I love your artwork, especially the She-Hulk. It was great. It's great.
Oh, I love Anna's work. I've got
I did my own rendition. I decided to cross between Abby from Last of Us 2 and the Hulk with no feminine qualities. I think it is okay.
Yeah, look, hang on. I got to make sure. Put that one aside. Yeah, look, let me blow myself up. I love your work, Anna.
I don't want to see that. I'm out.
He just muted himself by accident.
At least once a show. At least once a show.
He censored himself.
Once a show.
Luke Skywalker. I got all of these.
Wow, that is Yes.
Yeah, she does great work.
Why hasn't she done like a playing card set yet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine doing game night on the Jack Show where you're using the Anna Star Wars cards? Like, you could literally scan these and put this on the Steam, the
I want to get
simulator.
I want to get a Gina one.
We need to commission an expanded universe series. That would
even
be
a calendar.
Anna as a chess. I actually really like that. I think that
Me
looks
too.
sick. Anna as a chess. Darth Maul.
dude.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's excellent.
I gotta get
You
all
got-
of these framed.
oh my
I'm
God,
gonna
the
get
shine on
all
his
of them
head's
framed. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
Even the shine on that's fucking perfect. Ahsoka looks
yeah.
good.
You got her smile right,
And
and sniff.
Vader looks
Wow.
fantastic.
Dude.
That's a great Vader.
That looks like the cover of the DVDs. You know, the silver and gold package.
Yes, it
Fucking
does.
badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got to get all of those framed. I'm going to get them framed up and hopefully put them either along the back there. Hopefully they don't fall with the cats. I don't know. I want to display them because they look so good. If you don't have any and you want to get some, I got to get one of Gina too because I think that looks fantastic as well.
I have one question.
She's got her, what is it called? The where she sells these through. Sorry, Anna, what's it called in the chat?
Patreon,
Etsy?
Teespring.
No,
Etsy.
It's an Etsy store, isn't it?
Oh, Etsy store. That's it.
Yeah.
Go and check out her Etsy.
I'll get her link. I'll grab her link real quick.
I did have a question though. She might
Sorry,
not
it
have
is
enough for
free.
cards though, but does she have enough, and does she still have all like the uncolored versions to maybe make a coloring book for kids?
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Be sweet.
That's not a bad idea at all, Anna. If you could just got the line work, just put the line work out in a little flip book for coloring.
Because I know, because even doing that, like, well, I don't know if that, but I don't know if that's considered like copyright, but the coloring book wouldn't hurt, would it? Even if it was like an added bonus to whatever
if it's under copyright, then exactly what she's done there is a copyright issue. So
okay,
well, you know, saying, if it's just the line work going out, I'm sure.
Because a lot of kids would probably like coloring that in, and even not coloring it in, just having that kind of thing would be awesome. Because you don't see much coloring books anymore that are worthwhile.
Oh, speaking of Anna, Henry Cavill. I cannot believe Cavill. What am I? It's 3:00 in the morning. Give me a break. And I'm really boomering this fucking stream, I'll tell you. But the fact that they're trying to cancel him for literally dating Gina Carano. Like, that blows my mind. If anything happens with that, that's fucked. That's just fucked.
Doesn't surprise me
anyway.
Thanks to Anna, I have a picture of a close-up picture of Cavill's junk. Remember that post way back when? So I made it a secret scene where it has the dude in Shazam sitting at the table, but they're looking up, and it's just the close-up of his.
Wait, I don't know. It's too early in the morning, and again, I've boomed the stream from the very beginning. I actually played the wrong clip as my opening thing, so I don't know. It's a strange night for me to be streaming too, because of course the job change and everything. So it's been a
you made me think it was the fucking weekend tomorrow. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, sorry about that. So if you are coming in late, I am officially changing the day of Casual Rage. At this stage, it will be Tuesday morning if you're in the States, Tuesday night if you're in Australia, or early Wednesday morning. But there is the possibility that my rostered day off, the one that I get off during the week, could change again. So it could end up changing again. So bear with me. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll see all the posts over there. The thing is he won't, because they've got. I don't see how they can. He's got no leg to. They've got no leg to stand on with any of. I mean,
they're just reaching for something right now.
But they had no leg to stand on with canceling Gina, and they did. So
do they have 3 feet to stand on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he's a white male. That's one of the reasons too. That's another.
You got
here. Someone did this, and I thought I'd share that. They put Reeve on the Cavill suit, and they put Cavill on the Reeve suit. He would have pulled that off so good.
He would have. He would have.
Which one? The right?
Yeah, that's actually the Reeve suit. Yeah.
Yeah, putting.
Well, he's in the Reeve suit. There's actually a behind-the-scenes shot. He's actually in the Reeve suit for the costume test for Man of Steel.
Yeah,
he's actually in it.
All right, let's go back to this and continue watching for a bit more.
Okay.
New York.
Yeah.
That's not like, homophobic. That's just ignorant.
What did Carano say?
She said that she goes in 1940s Germany.
He gets this right.
He gets it right.
It's always a good thing to do on something like this, Joe. By all means, let's hear your take on the tweet.
I don't have the quote in front of me, but she said she basically compared political beliefs now being persecuted to the fact that in 1940s Germany, the way the Nazis were so able to take power and do whatever they wanted was because they brainwashed citizens into picking on their Jewish neighbors and eventually attacking their Jewish neighbors.
Yeah.
And he said, how is that any different from attacking people for their political beliefs? I get what she was trying to say. Obviously, any comparison to anything with the Holocaust is very...
It wasn't compared to the Holocaust. They're not paying attention. So.
It's a dumb thing to do. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But here's what bothered me. The grounds for her being fired based on that opinion was that she was somehow reducing the plight of Jewish people during World War II. Okay, I get that. I understand that perspective. However, that wasn't any different from all the people on the left when Trump got nominated or elected, and they said he's like Hitler. How is that any different? That's the same reduction of circumstance. But on one side of that coin, it's okay to say, and on the other, it won't even be entertained.
Joe DeRosa.
Interesting, Joe.
That's an interest. Joe DeRosa with an interesting take. Look at you.
They're surprised. I love it. They're surprised.
And all of a sudden, Joe comes in.
Bill, I've had a lot of time to think, you know?
Yeah, well, he's in a closet. He has a lot of time to think.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
Yeah.
you're saying Joe compared it to slavery, and it would have been better.
I just don't. All I'm saying is, whether you agree, disagree, whatever, I just don't get this place that we're in, where there's no room for discussion about any.
Thank you.
And
Give him that one.
There's
Right
too
there.
many channels, Joe. Too
It's
many
just
channels,
wild.
and then you gotta like do sensational shit. I don't know what the fuck it is. I mean, I'm on that fucking
Everybody-
show. Now I gotta watch what the fuck I say.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that show. Everybody.
What show is she on? What show is she on?
The Mandalorian.
The Star Wars, yeah.
The Star Wars.
The Star War.
Action
It's
figure.
the Star War.
There's no war in space.
Action figure. It's like
It's not about war.
It's not. It's about the stars.
Did she ever pony up to you, Bill? I'm like, Bill, I got a few ideas I think that you'll like.
No, she was an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah.
She is.
Super nice fucking person, and you know, whatever. And somehow someone will take this video and they'll fucking make me say something else, and you know, try to get rid of my bald action figure.
See, I do hate the fact that the cancel culture mob twist what's being said to provide the narrative for the cancellation of these people. You know, like with the whole thing with Gina Carano, the transphobe thing with not putting the pronouns in, the anti-vax, the anti-masking, and then of course the Nazi Germany references.
Yes.
Like nothing that they said that she said is what she said.
No.
They
remember
twisted
the
it.
picture? Remember that other
Yeah.
picture she posted, right? Where it wasn't the same image, but they tried to say it was, but then she had to
Yep.
do a double check, right?
Yep.
They go so. They literally are people that will sit there for weeks on end going through the Twitter, waiting for that one thing. And then I'm going to make that one thing a very big thing, and then I will get an erection. Then I'll make everyone else get an erection because I'm trying to make sense of a narrative that doesn't make sense because I watch too much Goof Troop.
Mm-hmm.
It's so irritating.
Yeah.
I like Goof Troop. It was a good cartoon.
An action figure?
Oops.
Yeah.
Good reference.
Do you have an action figure?
No.
Oh,
No, you fucking nerds.
oh. Fine.
I
buying
might. I don't know. I have no
that
idea.
season was awesome, man. That
No, it
second
wasn't. It was
season
garbage.
killing. Holy
Garbage.
shit.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
They're just kissing
Bill
up.
Burr
That's
doesn't
all
know
they're doing
because
is
he doesn't
kissing
even
up.
watch. He didn't even watch it.
They,
I guarantee you didn't watch it.
He called her
no,
Gina
so-
Carrara. He didn't even get her fucking name right.
Carrara.
I fucking
Carraro,
guarantee.
yeah.
Carrara.
Carrara.
I guarantee he knows.
Yeah, they don't have to though kiss up. They all like are in the same kind of circle. They're all doing the same type of shows, whether it's on Netflix. Like Bill has his that F is for Family, right? He voices the guys in that, and they also have like the Paper Tiger special. Burr Kreischer, he also has Netflix specials. The same with the Cabin one, where he actually had like Bruce Jenner and other comedians coming up. And the first episode is them trying to come up with an emo. It's hilarious. But like they're all connected together, but at the same time they're all trying to play it smart with their words because they know they're comedians that go outside the circle of what this mob come after. It's hard. It's hard to be an actor. I can take. And I think the way he's looking right now. I think he doesn't want to give too much away, but he's contemplating whether he said too much. And if he says too much, he's terrified that they will twist his words, and that's why he said it the way he did. Because look at his Saturday Night Live skit. Remember that opening?
Yeah.
Same thing.
That was the one about the white women, right? Virtue signaling. Yeah.
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 It doesn't matter what you say; they will always weaponize.
Mm-hmm. I think this is getting close to the end.
Honestly, I can't like how it is out there. It's fucking crazy time. They just like there's just people just waiting, just laying in the weed.
It really is, man.
You think there is a group of people, like a type of person out there, reading the trades and then going, Joe DeRosa signs a 6-figure deal. All right, let's deep dig him. find out what he did wrong, and that's how I spend my day.
Let's show that he's human and he's made a mistake in his past, and let's take that dream away. I don't know how it works.
Absolutely. There are people doing that. Bert, I think it's even farther than that. I think there are people that are watching who's about to break, and just like they preemptively buy .com names, right? So they can sell them back to the famous person because they know, oh, they're going to buy this probably and need it, and then I can make a couple bucks. I guarantee you there's people lying in wait like that and just saying, this guy's star's starting to rise a little bit, you know? Let me just dig a few things.
Hey, pause it. I think COVID has made it worse because, you know, people like us, how we've spent our time is trying to entertain people, you know, as best we can, and other people wanting to watch stuff like our content. Yet I think other people fill that time by getting on Twitter with cartoon avatars and just going after people.
Yeah.
So I think there's more time. And hey, why find a job when you get $700 a week or whatever the fuck it is? I don't know because I don't get it. You know, it's like people don't have anything to do, so they get into these quote unquote causes and they just start going after people to cancel them, and it's disgusting.
Yeah,
you can tell if you watched Bird's Eyes, the guy on the right, he was reading the private chat. You could tell he was doing.
Yeah,
because he was. I think Bill wanted to get off the subject, and they're both reading it because they know what's going on, but they're subtle about it, and it's terrifying. Man. Like, he has 2 daughters, he loves them to death, he has great stories about them, and like that's one comedian I don't ever want to see cancel.
Yep.
I am the machine.
It's got to be. I mean, the shit comes out so fucking fast. It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy. I think it really speaks for having, like, flying under the radar and just making a living and just going, like, I don't need.
But see, this is the other thing that I'm talking about. I understand that he's got kids, and I understand that he's got a family and he needs to support, and you know, his career is the career that he chose and the career that he's going down, and he's in a bit of the limelight, you know, he's a bit of the spotlight. But it brings me back to that point that if no one else sort of stands up, it is just Gina as that small little snowball at the top of the mountain. It ain't going to eventuate to shit if these people do sit back and do nothing. It really is. I don't see. I personally, in this industry that I'm seeing, I don't see how one person's voice in this makes a massive, like, it's shaken things up. And this is where I do have hope that it can actually move forward and we can actually get out of this bullshit of being hypersensitive to stupid shit. You know, I can guarantee you that there is something that I said 10 or 20 years ago that would be quite controversial today. I don't apologize for saying it.
Fuck no.
Back then, it's like here in Australia, not everyone. There are people here in Australia that hate the word cunt, right? But I will freely say it, and I'm sorry if that offends somebody out there. Well, then I don't give a fuck.
I thought that was an acronym for "See You Next Time."
Yeah, it is. Later, cunt.
Oh, it's hated even worse over here in the States, man.
But yeah, I understand. You know, and
it's like saying Nazi.
This is the thing. I've even heard. You know, I've heard Anna use that word, and I've heard people use. You know,
people deserve that word. Yeah.
My point is, though, you know, there is something that I've said in the past that would be very, very controversial today. Very controversial.
Like I like Last Jedi.
Yeah. No, I've never said that.
No.
But I did say that I like The Force Awakens.
So
it had its moment. It had its moment. So
it did have its moment. But yeah, anyway, I just hate the fact that people, it's like they're saying, you know, someone's on the rise. All right, let's start digging. Let's find the skeletons in their closet. That's not even a skeleton, though. You know, it's only because it was set in that time. It's like with all these movies and shows and the Muppets having a fucking thing at the beginning to, you know, oh, this could be a little racist. If you might not want to watch it. Like, what the fuck?
Rhino, you have to remember though, it's getting to the point now. I'm bringing up a scenario that's kind of similar to the same thing. You remember when they did that whole fact checking? They found out that one of the tweets that the check mark is fake, right, and doctored, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the point now where they're gonna take tweets
That
and
was
no longer
Chris
find that evidence.
Pratt. Chris Pratt.
It's going to get to the point now where they're going to alter those with Photoshop to just make it look like the celebrities are saying something. That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the point where they're actually creating fake tweets and fake everything just to make people believe.
Yeah.
When is the line that needs to be put down going to be stood for and not crossed to the point where we're losing the fact because people are making up fictional facts and convoluting the story of what's actually going on? Are we reaching a generation where not only are we growing up and being raised to have our ears closed, but also our hearts and our minds? Do you think it's a no-way scenario at this point? Or are we just at the edge of this?
Well, I don't know. And this is the thing. It can go one way or the other way. We're either going to get worse and we're going to end up like the movie Idiocracy, or we're going to actually get better and things are actually going to go back to normal. But from what I'm seeing, again, the Twitter cancel culture mob on Twitter, fucking idiot. I'm talking to myself there. Are emboldened now to continue. Like, the precedent has been set. The bar has now been set by Disney based on what they've done here. Like, yes, we can go back and we can look at fucking Mel Gibson or whoever else has been cancelled out there for something that they said fucking years ago. I mean, look at fucking
Mel Gibson.
What's his name? Kevin Hart.
Oh, the one that got booted off the Oscars or something?
The Oscars. Yeah. That whole thing with the Oscars. Like, that was something that he said, 20 fucking years ago?
Yeah.
It don't matter. They will dig
like,
it up.
Get over it.
They will
but that's what
dig
bothers
it
me.
up.
But that's what bothers me. Is you know how they pretend history doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
They're digging so far into the history to get someone canceled.
Yeah,
but the history doesn't exist. Then. So it's their own tactics are
hypocritical. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think of that. That's
what history classes in 10 years will be. It'll be like, all right, let's look into Gina Carano's tweets today.
Again,
it's a tweet.
Again, you look at that clip of those kids giving their answers to these historical moments in time.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking know fuck all. Talk about idiocracy. That's fucking idiocracy at its finest.
Yeah.
What's D-Day? Oh, it's a fucking rapper. You're a dumb fuck.
Oh yeah,
You're
I will
such a
say
dumb
now.
fuck that I'm gonna call you a dumb cunt because you're a dumb fucking cunt.
Mm-hmm. If you had kids in that class with that professor or that teacher that recorded that, you are now allowed to beat those kids.
Oh my god!
Oh,
no, you're not.
I'm
You have permission to beat those kids. Just beat them.
I'm surprised that teacher hasn't been cancelled for actually
pointing out how stupid they are.
Bullying the
He didn't show their
children?
face. He didn't show their faces.
And
so it's
I'm
not
glad
bullying.
that he didn't. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he didn't.
Beat those kids.
Go on. What were you going to say?
Sorry, I forgot because I'm just like,
I know. It's so overwhelming that the thoughts go through your head at a rapid rate, and it's just like, what the fuck is actually going on?
in a way, it's like also like it's like a population control technique. You know what I mean? Though, this is how stupid the generation's going to be. Do you really want to breed? I'll just buy some Lego.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, dude, I don't. No, that's not you.
No, I know.
Just do more lake shots at the beach, and eventually you'll just find her somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I said,
Because she'll see one of your memes. I mean,
if some of the bigger names and some of the people that are in the spotlight, that are in the limelight, don't stand up for what they believe, like Gina Carano has, we are going to get worse. And the whole thing with Gina Carano is going to lose momentum, and the cancel culture mob will win again and again and again and again, because they've been winning. They've been winning with your food products, with your Aunt Jemima and your all those things, right? They're winning in Hollywood. They're winning everywhere at the moment. They're on a high. They're on their momentum. Their snowball is nearly at the bottom of the mountain, and it's fucking huge.
I have to contradict. I have to contradict. I'm sorry.
Go for it. Please do.
You're right to a point,
But at the same time, you have to take into consideration that that snowball, that this woke snowball, or whatever, that's falling down and building mass. At the same time, it's also a fragile snowball, because look at the Academy Awards. They then had to get off Kathleen Kennedy stuff. They locked all the comments. And then the people just moved over to the next Academy Awards to prove the point. So the voice is not just, for that snowball is not just falling down and melting and growing at the same time. You have a voice that's contradicting everything at the same time. You're at the battle of wits. One is the wits, what comes with fact, against the wits of fact, of fiction. And we're going to see things have to, like you said, it's going to crush. We're going to have a moment of silence where no one's speaking up. And then it's going to hit the point where people are starting to speak up all at once. And it just, everyone's afraid and they're balancing their backbone on their future.
I got to semi-contradict that, though, because you look at something like the, what do you have to do these days to win a Best Picture award?
I don't care. No one cares about the Oscars anymore. That's the thing.
No, I understand. I understand. We don't care. It's like IMDb. We don't give a fuck about IMDb because we know they're fucked. But who do care about IMDb? It's like what I said about the 9.9 in the last episode of fucking Mandalorian. It's the shittest fucking episode in the entire fucking series. Yep. I don't care if you like Luke Skywalker. If you liked it, good for you. Good for fucking you, right? It is the worst written episode. It is the worst Star Wars I have fucking seen, right?
I agree. But the Droids cartoon is better than the Mandalorian.
My point is, though, is if you go back to, just bringing it right back around, to win the Academy Awards, the Oscars, they mean things to these people, right? So the rules are now in place that they actually have to have LGBTQ, Black representative, Latino representative, women, whatever. They're going to have all this different representative just to be able to win the Best Picture. So instead of getting the best person, and we've been going through this, it's now heightened even more. Instead of getting the right person for the job, instead of getting the lore keepers for fucking Star Wars, the lore keepers for Star Trek, the lore keepers for fucking Doctor Who, all of these things that are being destroyed. No, we've now got to just go out, as long as we get a black guy and as long as we get a lesbian woman, you know, we can win Best Picture. So that's all that fucking matters to them now, right? And this is what I mean in regards to us getting worse as opposed to actually getting better, and the wins are still coming for them. It's a win for the cancel culture mob. It's a win for the woke mob, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The virtue signal is out there. These are all massive wins for them. The fact that they have put these rules in place for Best Picture. The fact that they have, like, fucking the Finn thing from fucking Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
But the Black History Month and this. Oh my God! What the fuck?
Rhino, you know how you're saying all this stuff and how they're winning, right? Think about this from a different perspective. They're putting all these regulations in a time where everyone is locked at home and there's no theaters open. So it's going to prove how much of a failure it is. To a degree. So it has a benefit at the same time. I understand there's so much of the stupidity that it is not worth actually bringing up that point. I get it.
The thing, just, you know, narrowing it down to Star Wars, all they need is another Luke Skywalker. No, honestly, all they need is another Luke Skywalker moment, and they will get 50% of the people that they lost in this Gina Carano thing back.
No.
Are you telling me that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series isn't going to get people back?
It might get. Okay, no, that's the difference, though. It will get people who want to see what the show's about in for maybe one episode. If the one episode holds it, maybe yes. But it can still end up like a WandaVision. You know what? I don't care about Star Wars. I'm going to stick with my prequels, my OG trilogy, the books, because you know what's there? None of these people.
Yeah.
I don't care about Disney Star Wars. A lot of us don't, because you know what they've done? They give us a Band-Aid trying to give it all this branch. You know what they do next is they slap us in the face with another fucking name call. And you know what? Nobody deserves that. And nobody should be looking at these characters and trying to say these are role models for you, because they're not. And the ones that are role models, you know what they do? They're kicked the hell out like a homeless kid. That's not how you raise a fandom, a franchise, or any type of fictional character that people can look up to. A lot of people looked up to Luke, Leia, Han. It didn't matter. Even Chewbacca, for God's sakes. People had like the hair problem, you know, and talk about had the werewolf syndrome. Yeah, they really liked Chewbacca. There is the point now where they're going to die. Our heroes are going to die. Not the ones that we remember, but the ones that Disney and other companies are doing. And we're going to have that funeral. It's going to suck. But out of ashes, like the phoenix rises again, and we're going to get people who care, whether it be writers, directors, actors, actresses. It's going to happen. But
Again,
we're at the cusp of the dead.
I do want to point out that I haven't lost all hope, but I definitely see see things getting worse before they get better.
It's always the calm before the storm. It's the way it works.
And the other thing too is if my expectation is that we are just going to get worse, then I won't get disappointed when we do get worse.
We could try to. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go on.
We could try to trick them though. We can start doing a new hashtag. Waterworld is awesome, and just try to get them to ruin Waterworld, and then we'll get Disney back.
Man, that's so funny that you said that. Waterworld was on TV tonight, and I actually sat down and watched it.
It's like you can't piss into a Mr. Coffee and get Taster's Choice. It don't work like that.
It opens up to him pissing in the jar and then filtering his
Mr.
piss.
Coffee to make
Taster's
Choice.
God. So funny. All right, let's watch a little bit more of this and then we'll start wrapping this stream up because it's nearly 4:00 and I'm getting really tired.
I'm
sorry.
No,
Fat Steven, don't apologize. You've been great.
Can you tell the women that I've disappointed that? Just like write on a piece of paper for me.
Yeah, no worries. Funny. All right, let's go.
Will Ferrell. I can just be this guy. Either that or put all your shit out there so bad that you're like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, and everyone's like, all right, he's gonna kill himself. We'll let him do his thing.
Yeah. How about you just be an individual and you continue to buy tickets to people that you want to go see?
Thank you.
And just sort of fucking, because that's one of the things that's weird to me is a few people that have like they go back out on tour and then like
tour.
They're gonna sell out and people want to go see him, and then the people who don't want to see him don't even want to let the people that still want to see him or her see him. Then it just becomes like I'm sitting there it's a my thing about that is how do you hold up you judging somebody that harshly about, because I'm not talking about like the hardcore shit like sexual assault and rape and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, because now it's becoming like, hey, you made an ignorant comparison. There goes your dream, right? I look at that, it's like, who the fuck stands up to that?
There's the fear talking right there.
Yeah, I completely agree. He was watching his words throughout everything that he said in that last couple of sentences, that last paragraph of whatever he was just saying. Like, he was really treading on, and you can see it. He's treading on eggshells. He's.
I would too.
It's your soul being taken in a heart, bro. It's scary.
No, I understand what you're saying, Tim, but I don't care. Like my integrity's worth more than.
But is your family's? That's the problem.
Yeah. No,
well, and like I said, he'll be fine, but we won't be fine. That's the difference.
Yeah.
They go after people who are doing charities, for God's sakes. Okay, this is the type of people we're doing. These are soulless people. They want everyone to be just as unhappy, and when they move on, they're going to be just as unhappy with the next thing they go after. So we should just direct them at Kurtzman. Just give them Kurtzman. Just go after Kurtzman. Go all the franchises that suck, right? Just go after them. But they go after the people that are happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't care what they say. Your typing is very sexy on a loud frequency. I don't care.
But it's just, it's sad, man, because even comedians now, comedians are supposed to be like the stepping stone of like out of bounds comedy, like Richard Carlin, Richard Pryor, all those types. And it's now at the point where you can't even have a laugh. Because someone will get offended. Guess what? Jokes are supposed to be offensive because we're not supposed to get offended by them. We're supposed to laugh at how stupid things get. Look at Mad TV. Look at how SNL used to be. Look at In Living Color, like when Jim Carrey was on there and all those guys. Why can't we have them? Why can't we have laughter? Why are people so against laughter and just enjoying things for what they are?
Yeah, it's frightening.
It is.
Absolutely.
We're getting close to another renaissance. It's going to be so weird.
I think I've had enough of watching that. I think with everything that's happened, and again, I've been a little bit out of the loop for the last fair few days, just because of obviously the wedding on the weekend that I had to go to, and the new job, I'm not actually able to sort of listen to as many streams as I used to. I used to be able to just, at my other job, I could just put headphones in and just do my work. Whereas this, I've actually got to speak to people and deal with customers and stuff like that. So it's very, very different. So unfortunately, you won't be seeing me as much in the chats on streams and things like that. But I'm still around, everyone. I just want to start wrapping this up. It is getting really late. I think any last words on cancel culture crap and where do you think that this can head? Where do you think we can go with this? Do you think it's gonna? What do you think, Stephen?
My thought process is, and I'll stand by it: stand your ground, stand your principle, don't give in. And honestly, if you think standing your ground is giving ground, it's not, because you're not moving. You got to phalanx your principles over whatever someone's throwing at you, because they're just words. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but reeing will never hurt you.
Yeah,
that's why they have to come at you with more than one person. And I honestly believe that, because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have channels like the Full Aussie. We wouldn't have Anna doing her shows. We wouldn't have Drunk. We wouldn't have Neurotic. We wouldn't have Heel, Critical Drinker. Everyone is standing the ground, and their popularity is rising, because that's where the common sense lies, right?
I did rewatch The Wedding Planning for me, but that was a bit uncomfortable. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm with you on that, Stephen. Or Amazon H-Man. That's what I'll call you.
I am definitely the Nazi package.
Yep. Well, again, thank you, Stephen, for coming on and helping explain some of the Wandavision stuff. It's actually been really cool. Again, first time on Casual Rage, and it's been actually really, really good. And thank you very much, everyone. Now, while I've got you, anything that you want to plug, anything that you want to tell the people about?
In about 12 minutes, our pre-recorded show on Lorena's Lunch Table will begin, where we're interviewing Sporking, his podcast. Tonight, I will be doing the comic book roundtable, I think, on Loki's Mornings of Mischief's channel. I do have a channel with gaming. And at the same time, I'm just going to throw up an open invite to Rage, Open Air Luck, and the Geek Blend to be future guests on the lunch table if you ever have time. I appreciate being welcomed on. You guys seem
thank
very,
you.
Thank you.
Give me $50. I want just $50. Just give me $50.
Give me $200.
If you give me $500.
Yeah,
exactly.
Shut up and give me $500.
And I do gaming awards on Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, you're always welcome here. At the moment, I haven't bought StreamYard, so I've only got room for 6 people, but I do try and rotate as many guests. I usually have my usuals, but no, it wasn't. But it can be. But no, thank you again, Stephen. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, so thank you very much. Everyone go and subscribe. The link is in the chat. Tim put that in there. Thank you, Tim.
Yes,
and
sir.
speaking of Tim, any last thoughts on cancel culture?
I'm definitely more pessimistic. I just think there's too much control. I think their tendrils are throughout too much of society in the United States and greater Western civilization, and I think it's going to have to be a deal where everything comes crashing down really hard, not just entertainment, because it's in every industry, and it's scary. So, with that wonderful thought, I just released an expanded university video. It's on Legacy of the Force Betrayal. It's my first, I guess you'd want to call it, review. But here's what I recommend, even if you haven't read it. Give this thing a watch. By the time you do read it, you'll forget everything, anyway. Because I actually read this book about 15 years ago, and I completely forgot everything that happened in it. Plus, you'll get to be able to see what are these characters really like 30 years, 40 years after Return of the Jedi, as opposed to the garbage that Disney Lucasfilm gave us. So give it a watch. It's about 15 minutes long, and I had fun making it. So it was a blast.
Yeah,
and subscribe to my channel. I just surpassed 350 thanks to these guys.
Yay!
So just got to keep going.
No. We might have given you a little bit of a hand, but it's all been you. Your videos are good, and people are watching them and entertained by them. So continue doing what you're doing. and it's not us. We may have helped Steph get monetized, but you're doing it all yourself because you're the white male. You're the white male.
Monetized by her bed.
Women can't do it without the man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, Steph, I just saw her come up. That's why I said that. Thanks, Steph. You're awesome.
But thanks, Rhino. Appreciate it.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you again for coming on. I know you had some stuff on this morning, but I'm glad you dumped in at the end there. And thank you. Everyone, subscribe to Tim, Open Airlock Policy. The link is in the chat. And last but not least, Jeff, Geek Blend, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Have you got any last thoughts on the cancel culture stuff?
I'll reiterate what these guys said, and yeah, it's so embedded into the culture. Like Tim's right, it has to come crashing down, and unless a huge percentage of us stand up at the same time, it's just going to continue. It's just going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And people are afraid in Hollywood to stand up against it, and it's just going to keep happening. And Tim's right; it's the little people who, the normal people in life who get canceled for stupid shit, who can't come back from it, who don't have millions of dollars, who can't, just be fine after losing their jobs. So something's got to change, but I think it's going to take a lot, unfortunately, to change it. So
yeah.
And
again, thank you. Have you got anything coming up? Anything that you want to let the people plug your channel? Plug your stuff.
Yes, I have 2 videos coming out today. I actually just going to finish editing it today. I have my Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer breakdown recorded, and I'm editing it right now. Well, not at the moment, but as soon as I'm done here, I'll finish it. I went through quite a bit of it, and I think I found a few things people missed, so definitely check that out. And of course, my episode will be out later today as well. And then tonight we're watching Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Me, Tim, and Greg. So yeah,
awesome.
Excited for that, man. Excited.
Another good one.
Yeah,
I do like The Voyage Home. Drop your link, or Tim, please drop Jeff's link in the chat.
I think you got it right, Jeff.
I think.
Yeah. Also, I will say, don't forget on the high ground this weekend, we got a big one this weekend.
Oh, I was going to plug that. Yeah, you do it.
Oh yeah.
Tell everyone. We got an announcement.
Yes, I mentioned this last night on the Trivia Stream, so if you weren't there and you want to come check out our channel, my channel, we do a high ground show on Saturday nights, me, Rhino, and Tim. And this weekend's guest will be Gary from Nerdrotic. So, yes. We are super excited about that one. It's going to be a really, really great show. Looking forward to it.
Yes, Gary Nerdrotic.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. I got a heart on already. Again, Jeff, thank you very much for coming by. My other guests, we had Stig Kenobi. Please go and subscribe to him. We want another top 5 video, so please everyone go and subscribe to him.
Yes.
We also had Greg, Lost Jedi 22, or Tuscan Bob, however you want to refer to him, or just the executive producer of all our channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I know that, I'm going to say go and subscribe to his channel. I know he's not putting stuff out there, but fuck it. Just go and do it. Maybe one day he'll do another video and you'll get to see, you never know. He might end up doing a Tuscan Bob video for the Boba Fett Book of Boba Fett series or something. You never know.
I had an idea before we close out. What you could do is get the clip of the Tuscan Bob with the Bantha staff, and you can just call it Tuscan Bob's Reviews, and you can review it by the amount of and then just go with that and make some short videos.
You actually do that really well.
Yeah.
Really well. That's funny.
Please don't clip that.
No. Yes, but everyone in the chat, I appreciate all of you. We got Brightest Day, Lost Jedi, no, yes, Michael. We had Stunning and Brave Megatron, of course, Steph, and again, Steph, congratulations on your monetization. That's excellent.
Yeah,
Michael,
hopefully she does the stream soon. Yeah.
Yep. Yes, you need to do a monetization stream, Steph. Holocron. What is that? Library Fox. I'm just scrolling up, seeing if
Michael
there's
T.
anyone else. Blake, I said Michael T. Rosetta, Rosetta Allen. I know Anna was in the chat. Thank you for coming by. Will, look, if I missed you, there's been actually a fair few people coming through. Borg, Porg, all of you guys in the chat. I really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave you with a little musical number to end with tonight. We're not going to do We're not going to do a commercial for this
Don't
one.
you put it in your mouth, though. It might look good to eat.
All right. Before I do, I'm so glad I pulled myself up on this. Okay, I just want to say a quick thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. We have Daniel James, of course, at my highest tier. He's in the Raging Mob. He's the only one that's in the Raging Mob, so it's just me and him in our little DM group at the moment. We've got Lethal Lightning. We've got Open Airlock Policy. Thank you. We got Lady Terriel. She's one of my newest ones. And, of course, tonight we picked up Jeff at the Geek Blend. Thank you. And, of course, my nerdy home, Steph. Thank you all so much. Support. I must admit, like, I haven't put any content on Patreon. It's all been the support just through the YouTube stuff. I haven't had a massive amount of time to be able to do like a million videos and put things out here and there. But, you know, I want to try and do more for you guys. I'm still working on my Mandalorian version of the Disney Star Wars continuity series.
Can't wait.
So that, again, I'm not putting any time limits on these anymore because they just take too long. I put a time limit and then I start putting too much pressure on myself. I'm also working on a parody video, which I'm not going to elaborate any more on it than that. These guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know that there's people out there that can't wait that I have told what I'm doing, but I am working on a video. I hope you enjoy it. It is a parody. I am just having a laugh, having a joke, and I hope that most of you take it that way and don't cancel me. But again, thank you all for coming out, and I will leave you with this. I can get it up. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. Good night, everyone.